I know a guy. That's my op. Do me a favor.
Oh my god, for once it's not being awesome. Yeah.
That's why.
That's the only
In my undergrad meeting.
I'm coming from you. I think that.
She was here last week.
I should have brought a guy.
If I had some, I'd give it to you, but I also should have brought water.
Oh yeah. Wait. Yo, and you were hunting. You were hunting in front of Craig Lee at 12 o'clock.
I don't know. I haven't been down. I was
There, in front of Craig Lee at 12
I don't know. Maybe just like.
You're next.
We're not talking about the same. Don't worry about it. Maybe I'm confusing
I know much of my friends
somebody else.
You were warned about it.
There's some around.
You're wearing this in your SCG photo already.
Because I know
Wearing the
like.
green in your current SCG photo.
I know my brother was in like.
Oh, yeah.
Workers, they all had the flu.
We never like sit close.
Is that your bet?
Brad.
I'd be so excited. Take a look at it. You gotta be loud. Mike, just fucking.
We're gonna do these two.
I wonder if they the Norva.
Like do like a little side photos of like our ball. Cause like one time we took a photo like this and it looked like
sleeves and my flex. That's no idea.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I missed the rest of my middle school.
They're gonna come out, not in it. Honestly, if you're gonna miss one, that's pretty good. Wow. In front of them, that's scary. Oh, honestly, I think it's so well in school.
He'll be here right now.
How's it going?
Hello.
I'm here.
I know, I was making sure.
Oh no.
You're missing me.
I'm like an anxiety attack.
She was really the one who was freaking out.
I was freaking out.
I don't know.
Because you want to take minutes.
No.
Yes.
She kept saying.
I passed that. Like ready for Dante?
Yeah.
Matt.
Oh.
If I'm like talking like this, that was not really good. Can you zoom in? Ooh, I can see my hair. Hold on. Hold on. That's awesome.
I like the fence.
How much zoom do you want?
Oh, should we move it yours? Oh my god, yeah. Should we do a help?
Maybe it's your wheels.
You three are next.
That's good, thank
So, then you know, incredible. And you would be interested too, actually.
Should I show my best friend? Okay, I'm gonna.
There's
only 5 hints from those two.
Okay.
Do Marcus, then you guys decide who goes next. And then, anybody else not taking a photo yet?
That's it.
Hello. Check.
Whoa.
Sorry, everybody. Just talking to that one doctor. Does it look like there's any overlap? Do you have any issues? I don't think there's any issues at all. We sound great. Incredible.
I hate this so much. Say it out loud.
Our wheels on the back.
It sounds fun.
It's just the idea.
I'm talking so loud right now, and it's awesome. Sorry.
I'm trying to do the word. They just look right at me. I got 2 of them so far. I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, we're talking about Parliament, and we're having all the time.
Oh wow, Matt.
Okay,
Did you want one?
I did, but it just wasn't
my
my
problem
service
is the
though.
quality is just what it is.
No, not tonight. Yeah, I did do that.
Maybe if you
Yeah.
whoever wants to go next for a photo, come up and set a flag.
Yeah, that's good for all those pages.
No staff.
Just leave it there. You just leave it and then.
No staff tonight at all?
Of the words. And then after the, or the speeches.
Oh, okay.
It's just make that stuff.
Oh, really? Whoa, no test. I wonder what he's gonna do. Oh, he said hi to me. I literally not like that.
You said crowded.
No.
It's like, whoops. I bought one of the apps.
It is, right? Alrighty. Yeah, she's like, this is for Miguel, this is Miguel's file.
Shit, we gotta take pictures today.
Any issues?
Madison, last video after.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta.
I'm waiting.
Sorry.
I got that one. I'm proud of it. I don't know why.
Oh my god, I found it.
This is one of my. I just don't know what it is. I just.
Yo, I do.
Yeah.
Remember that now. Yeah, I was just looking through that, like to see if like doing my same major and everything.
You have to connect these like the words in here are separated into different categories. And this and this was both one away from one of the categories. So you have to make the category that all the words fit into.
She's looking at the vicinity.
Oh, Joe, can I
Calling it backup.
Please don't.
I literally don't know. I literally don't know. Yeah.
It's one of those like this plan.
Yeah. Fuck off. God damn it. Okay. Oh, like the one that I'm in right
Let's take a
now?
picture. Anybody send me a picture?
No, not your attendance.
Yes, I am. This is one of
I'm gonna send Lucas' spot.
Only if she says yes.
And Chris's spot?
She'd never
Oh, Chris is right there.
ChatGPT's helping us so much.
Put him over there.
I don't know what that.
Sharpay. Is it like the person from High School Musical? Sharpay from High School
That's what I
Musical?
said.
She's going to like get out of the way.
I don't get it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. What is Sharpay?
It gets quiet and I have to start doing that, and that's when I'm good.
It's a dog.
So the exam is next Thursday.
You guys have a new phone.
It's a Ricky dog. It's a dog. Sharpay is a dog breed.
Yeah, they're loud.
Oh, and it's
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
She wants that cookie so bad.
I know, I just want to eat it all. Be like that fatty.
Marcus, I'm loving the glasses.
Thanks.
They don't look good in my phone. They didn't?
No, I said they're going.
Oh, they're going.
Everybody have a little snack?
You probably wouldn't say.
I probably. Maybe I would have.
Huh? Cute. There's some cute stuff.
Yeah.
I just realized what
Whoa,
Tess was
those
asking
over
me
there?
earlier. And I'm understanding what you're asking.
Hi.
That's hilarious. Imagine if I was like,
She's just trying to see it out. Crush it.
I would love it.
semester's going well.
Great.
Last year.
Yeah. I know.
I know, I
You can Photoshop it. It's exciting.
Oh, okay.
Wait, if you wanna wait in here, we're just gonna have an
Yes.
Yeah, and I can pay for them. I like macarons and macarons. I like them all. Yeah, you can.
We have a lot of.
What is this?
Oh, yeah, we can also just take it.
Thank you very much.
I had you actually all the way in next to it.
You want me to
I can sit there when you want.
No, yeah, I don't need you anymore.
No, dude, you know what's next to me, it's whatever, I'm over it.
It's a bar.
Yeah, no, we're gonna stand, dude.
Yeah.
It's only one person.
That's what it is?
We decided on yourself.
I wanted the strawberry, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, you know,
Sorry, you're good.
strawberry looks kind of.
Is that
Yeah.
Because otherwise, how would you get majority?
No, but no, you know, not that.
What's ex officio?
Yes. Yeah, because otherwise.
Unless you're like that awesome.
I can't even have like advisor.
Always number
Yeah, that's your whole thing is you can't.
have the appetite.
That's my favorite
That's
title.
what
That's my favorite title.
I don't
I've ever
like
had.
cheesecake.
Oh, that's awesome.
Taken by a
Mixed with a lemon head. The club.
Okay.
Just wait for Chris to get it.
I'm not thinking.
That's like where you like.
Then I still feel the large.
Hey, you can take it with you want, love.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Literally, I know.
Nobody knows like cheesecake.
You took my friend.
Care for their food.
Oh, well,
Says treasure.
Half of these probably. I mean, they have a macaroni and cheese burger that I really like. It's super bad.
And then I will.
What they do is they make
It's
it's just that, and then they take a bunch of mac and cheese, patties, and they put that on top. On top of the patty, the beef patty, like a double cheese, pass it with the macaroni. I thought it was kind of crazy, yes.
Yeah, that sounds
It's disgusting, but it's in a good way.
You know what I love is like
9, 24, 25, Parliament election meeting.
I don't even know where to get
Piece of
them, but I
change.
have them.
We're releasing pop rocks.
I would say just, soda and fries,
Yeah.
That's my favorite fries, finger food. That's what stopped me. Paparazzi. I don't like Chick-fil-A.
That was a whole bit. I'll make it on this card.
No, I don't like the politics.
Until today. You know?
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's just, well, yeah, the
Let's do it,
fries
dude.
are okay, but it's like, it's
Do it.
generic
Yeah,
fast
yeah.
First.
No, you're it's so much better.
Oh,
It is.
Miguel, is this our
Better than like
Then what? Then Popeyes? Like, no, come on, you get a better chicken sandwich at Popeyes.
Oh, I just
Yeah, I feel
Whoa!
even,
No.
even like the
Oh,
Wendy's
class
crispy
office
chicken
shit.
is kind of complicated.
You know how
Was it just SCG
that
coffee?
is there? So like they basically like reset like their membership status to be
Okay.
and like
High juice.
that timeline.
Oh my god.
Like I'm there constantly.
I have a Chick-fil-A problem.
I really do.
You need to go to
You gotta choke on a
I
minute.
know.
Good
Good job.
That's for the second meeting, that's not for the elections.
Big Browns fan.
You kidding?
No, unfortunate. I had my grandma order me a Baker Mayfield jersey as a joke when he got drafted, and then they were on the Hard Knocks show.
Oh no, Dante, where are you making
It makes people wait. Oh wait.
Baker's
I can say it.
doing well.
Yeah,
You can sit. No, I can do
always
that.
He's working pretty well.
You can sit in on
When they would
a
set up the camera, I go, right, this is in Las Vegas.
I can promise.
Sorry, my
Just complimenting you
on the baby.
She said my
say like, hi, Marcus. Hi, it's so good to see
We
you.
didn't, I mean, we never released all of
one and only.
Yeah.
How was you?
You really bring up the right? You really did?
Oh, no.
No, come on, Chad.
So I
Meet you now, right?
take a picture with any of you.
I'll give you his brownie points, you know what I mean?
You really missed out. I mean,
If I get arrested, I'm gonna be like, this is me and Ted.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll help you out.
Exactly, I'll be like, I know this guy, we're tight.
I could never.
I know, I already have seen it. I was trying to Jackie on my side. She was like,
Wow.
she's a good one.
That is not a good look.
Oh, they,
And they're gonna break out into song
It was
right
the
now.
first
I'm
single
moving
banner.
seats.
It was the first single banner.
Oh, God.
She broke out.
Alright, Star Spangled Banner, you know, Francis Scott Key.
Alright, I'm calling the meeting to order. Good evening, everybody. It is September 24th. The time is 7:04 p.m. Thank you all for being here. And Nikia, would you please take roll call?
Yes, I would love to. Dante Di Gregorio.
present.
Rita Colonis. Present. Miguel Hoyos.
Here.
Seth Sullivan.
Present.
Benjamin Comedy.
Present.
Brianna Acosta. Brianna Acosta. Bella Ba. Here. Joshua Ballesteros.
Here.
Daria Lynn Campbell.
Present.
Sonia Chitayan.
Present.
Jack Doyle.
Always.
Falola Alua Tomisen. Elias Raleigh Gendrick. Jamie Goldberg.
Here.
Alexander Howlett.
Here.
Riley Jackman.
Here.
Alex Tom. Alex Logan.
Here.
Paige Marshall.
Here.
Madison Mello.
Here.
Marcus Pacheco.
Here.
Kai Reed.
Here.
Marcus Rocha. Millie Rose. Chris Russell.
Here.
Jason Sanchez.
Here.
Jonathan Seguin.
Here.
Seguin. How do I say your name?
Seguin.
Seguin. Thank you. Samia Smith.
Present.
Nilsa Toshkin. Here. Lucas Weber.
Present.
Cindy Kozel. Terry Levis. Melissa Marcotte. Ted Zito.
Here.
Matthew Jakes.
Present.
It's like
I would now like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright, before we get into the elections, we are going to go over the leaves for tonight. So first, I would like to seek a motion to approve Elias Owen Frawley Gendron's leave. First by Jack Doyle, second by Representative Russell. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Passed. Moving on, I am seeking a motion to approve Brianna Acosta's leave. First by Representative Doyle, second by Representative Goldberg. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And any abstentions? Passed. New gavel, guys, I'm getting used to it. Moving on, I'm seeking a motion to approve Perry Levis's leave. First by Representative Doyle, second by Representative Russell. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Passed. Couple more.
Thank you.
I'm now seeking a motion to approve Melissa Marcotte's leave. First by Representative Doyle, second by Representative Swan. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Passed. Let's see. I am now seeking a motion to approve Haley Rose's leave. First by Representative Doyle, he's very quick. Second by Representative Costello. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Passed. Alrighty. Not that one. Okay, that is it. Now, yielding the floor to President DiGregorio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second election. This doesn't usually happen. So today, our candidates are running for the deputy speaker spot. The deputy speaker generally hosts the town halls. They run the conditions and services, and they do the annual survey. Just to give you guys a brief overview. We're going to have the same format as we did last time, where we go through remarks from our candidates, we cast ballots, and then once the meeting is adjourned, we'll have a short recess, and then we will start the Parliament meeting. I yield the floor to Vice President Sullivan for validation of proxies and leaves.
So there is no proxies or leaves.
Okay.
I yield the floor back to President Gregorio.
Okay. Today, the lucky number, the magic number is 15 votes. So we will just get right into it. So first, we have our remarks from Representative Doyle.
I gotta zoom in on the camera first, guys. Give me a second.
Jack Doyle.
Alright, guys, hold on. I got a really good shot of Dante right now.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you.
Your speech. Thanks, Riley.
Hello? Hi. Alright, hi everybody. Before I start, earlier today I was complaining to Dante about how I had to go first. I was like, come on, like it's not even alphabetical, like what's going on? Why do I gotta go first? And Dante said to me, in quotes, he said, you know what they say, you gotta save the best for first. So, you know what that means? I think I got an endorsement, so take that, 15 votes, whatever. Alright, I'm excited today to be running for the deputy speaker. I think it's going to be a great thing for me to be a part of e-board for SCG. I'd be running the conditions and services meeting. I'm excited to lead it, focus on campus improvement, student services, and all the facility concerns. There's a decent amount. Miguel knows what I'm talking about. But when I first joined SCG, I really wanted to be on conditions and services. And the reason why is because I wanted 2 vending machines in Brown Hall. So bad. Oh my God. They got a setup right now where the chips are in the same vending machine as the drinks. So you get your like Lay's potato chips and they're freezing. You don't, whatever, you get it. You don't want that. I joined conditions and services ready to make that happen, and it never happened. I'm ready to take charge, lead, make some change that actually happens. So, I definitely want your vote there. But the position gives me more opportunities to connect with campus offices and push for better student engagement. Like Wixon, we've been trying for like good 2 years now. 2 years. We've been trying to get the radio played in Dawn. And they play 92 Pro FM. Like they're great and all, but like, come on, like represent the students. Like, what's up? Anchor TV, why don't they play on the TVs? We got like 9 TVs in Dawn. Sorry, Mike Kane, if you're watching, like, come on, Anchor TV, they gotta be on the TV. Like, represent the students, whatever. Anyway, I'm ready to organize the town halls to focus on results that affect student life, classrooms, technology, dining, all of that. I wanna make changes because right now things are good, but I'm ready to make things great, Clarissa, she was wonderful. She led conditions and services with an iron fist. But I'm ready to take over. I'm ready to make some change. I'm ready to work with Ben, not just on SCG initiatives, but as his recording secretary for his bylaws committee. I'm totally ready. Ben needs all the help he can get because he's got big shoes to fill as far as Tess leaving the speaker position. He's got his own gavel now. He's onto it. But Tess was Tess. It's pretty hard. Have no fear about me being a senior, everybody. I'll plan to be around for an extra semester next fall, fully support SCG and see all my projects through. I want to make Rick a better place. If there's something that isn't working, I want to be the one that fixes it. I really, that's a cool feeling. I want to be that guy, whatever. I'd be honored for your vote. We can make real improvements together. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Representative Doyle. Up next, we have Representative Taylor. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Zaria Lynn. I'm a biology major and a chemistry minor. I joined SCG last year and have continued to get more involved since. I'm now the president of the Program and Event Board, the vice president of Inkwell, and the vice president of Junior Class. I am also the student organizations coordinator and have been since last semester. As the student organizations coordinator, I helped plan the holiday party and the sorties with the SWAT committee and Secretary Marina last semester. I am running to be the next deputy speaker of SCG because I want everyone to feel heard about issues that are important to them on campus. All of the students deserve to have a voice about the school they pay to go to. I will aim to make voices more heard. If elected as deputy speaker, I would first have the Conditions and Services Committee start tabling. This would be every other week. We would hold short surveys about how people feel about different parts of campus where the service is offered. This means tabling sessions would have a theme every single week. So for example, we would focus on the student union one session and focus on Fogarty the next. Although this is done every year through the annual survey, this would allow students to give us feedback and/or concerns about specific topics throughout the school year on a smaller scale survey rather than the large scale survey, which is lengthy and only done once a year. It would give students something to focus on so they can dwell on that topic alone. On top of this, I would like to aim for a new high record for the survey. Last year, the survey reached over 600 people on campus. I would like to reach even more people this year. This could be done at the bi-weekly tabling sessions and by asking professors to allow us 10 minutes of their time at the beginning of their class for students to complete the survey. This way, the survey reaches more students and allows for more accurate data. I would also like to hold more than one town hall meeting each semester. Even if it's only one extra one per semester, this would allow more students to join in on the conversation and voice what they think could be improved on campus. Holding 2 town hall meetings would broaden the variety of people who add to the conversation. These would be on different days of the week, so for example, one would be on a Wednesday and the other would be on a Thursday. So if people are unable to attend one of the town halls, there's a larger possibility of them being able to attend one of the 2 dates. I would also provide prompts and ideas on what people can mention during the meeting. This could help spark discussion on issues people haven't brought up. Having a list of places and services on campus provided to attendees could be helpful for people so they have a visual of what they use on campus, allowing them to think about issues, concerns, and/or improvements they have. All in all, I just want the student body to be heard and for their concerns to be met with real solutions. I plan to make that happen, and to do that, I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Campbell. Up next, we have Representative Bach.
Sorry. Good evening. Going off of what you said about Brown, I used to live in Brown last year, and I 100% agree. They need better snacks in the vending machine, and also throw in a pool table and ping pong paddles that work, because why does only Penfield have them? But my name is B. I'm currently a junior here at Rhode Island College, studying communications. I'm new. But since my freshman year, I've debated getting involved with student community government. Honestly, the biggest piece that stopped me was the image it sometimes gives off. Exclusive, intimidating from the outsider perspective. But a good friend of mine, who I won't name, so his ego doesn't inflate, convinced me to finally join. A little bit about me: I live on campus. I'm a member of the women's tennis team, and I serve as vice president of the communications club. But beyond that, I've had the privilege of working as a tour guide for admissions. an orientation leader, a peer mentor, and office worker through new student programs. And within each of these roles, I've had the opportunity to connect with students well before they commit to RIC. And if I do my job correctly, I get to follow their journey into their first semester and beyond. And these experiences around campus have given me the ability to not only better understand and work with students of a diverse background, but hear the perspectives and decisions and planning on the administrative side as well. But shifting focus, the heart of my passion is storytelling. I hope that wasn't mine. You might be wondering where I'm going with this, but I find that through every team, every job, every classroom, I've learned that everyone, whether it's a classmate, professor, or the person sitting right next to you, has a story worth telling. Stories connect us, they build empathy, they shape decisions, and they create community. And the key to being a good storyteller isn't just speaking, I've learned. It's creating a space where people feel welcome and heard, and listening deeply to what others have to say. And Rick has many, many, many stories within this community. That's why I believe storytelling ties directly to the role of deputy speaker. This position is not just about filling in for the speaker when they're absent. It's about ensuring fairness, accessibility, and representation. It's about making sure every representative has the chance to contribute and that voices of the student body truly guide the decisions we make. Hopefully, envisioning or re-envisioning this role is one where we can strengthen the communication between SCG and the wider student body. SCG shouldn't only reach those who are already here and know how to get involved, it should reach everyone. With more students joining our community each year and numbers rising, our responsibility is to put students first by listening to their needs, hosting town halls, advocating for resources, and supporting campus activities. So regardless of the results, I hope that I'm able to contribute and impact the community in this way, to make sure every voice on this campus has a chance to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Ba. Up next, we have Representative Weber.
Sort of awkward behind everyone now. But hello everyone, my name's Lucas Weber, and I'm running to be your next Deputy Speaker of Student Community Government. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a junior technically of Rick. I'm a double computer science and cybersecurity major, and I'm all around just involved in a lot around campus. Right from the first semester at Rick, I've made it a priority to listen to and advocate for students. I'm involved in many offices on and off campus, and I'm ready, and with that comes a lot of responsibilities. If elected, I'm ready to scale back some other commitments to fully focus on serving all of you. Because I work on campus, I have the flexibility to adjust my schedule so I can dedicate the time and energy this role deserves. If elected, I will work closely with the SCG Executive Board, RIC staff, but most importantly, the students here on this campus. SCG's mission is to serve the student body, and I'm committed to taking feedback and concerns directly from students to see what can be improved. Here are a few areas that I want to focus on primarily. Town halls. I want to create engaging and purposeful town halls on topics that matter most to students. Many of you have heard about the RIC Master Plan, but I think it could be incredibly valuable to host a town hall specifically to break down what that actually means to the campus, give updates, and provide a space for students to ask questions and share their opinions. I had a student come up to me today and they're asked, like, what is a master plan? Because they see it in their email and they don't really know what that means in terms of what they can have an impact for. So I feel like having a safe place for them to come and express those concerns would be helpful. Secondly, the SCG survey. Last year, I worked with former Vice President Pyers to move the annual survey into Qualtrics, which allowed us to capture better data and metrics. For example, 78% of the responses came from commuter students, and nearly 40% of students reported 40% of students reported not being satisfied with the quality of their academic advising here at RIC. These results showed us both where student concerns are concentrated and where we have opportunities to improve. This year, I want to make the survey more engaging and accessible by simplifying the questions to encourage more responses, diversifying the formats of the questions to make it even quicker to complete, and also setting up devices at tables and DILs and other events like that so students can fill out the survey on the spot, and maybe we'll even have a little reward in return for those who fill it out. Lastly, the Conditions and Services Committee. As the chair, I want to expand the focus of our meetings to include updates on positive changes happening around campus, not just concerns. I believe it's important to highlight when things are improving too. For example, the possibility of the bistro opening on Saturdays is exactly the kind of good news that I'd like to spotlight alongside addressing student concerns. Finally, the role is about teamwork. I plan to work with President DiGregorio on any issues that arise, Vice President Sullivan to ensure student issues and positive changes are promoted on our social media, and Speaker Tomedy to make sure that our town halls are run smoothly and effectively. Thank you all for your time, and I hope you will consider me as your next Deputy Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your remarks. Do we have any write-in candidates? Do we have any write-in candidates? Do we have any write-in candidates? No? Okay. Now we will move on to balloting. We're gonna hand them out. Make sure you write the number 1 in the top right corner.
Try telling me, Sonia. Knock your socks off.
Make sure you put a 1 in the corner. What are you gonna put in the corner? Thanks, James.
I wonder if I was seeing that. Take a 1 credit. Take a 1 credit. Take a 1. Yeah, it makes it really easy.
I'm gonna vote now.
Test. Yeah, you're good.
That's how I like
Right
to
next semester.
We can do swimming together.
Yes.
And then I want to do That's how I want to try this.
Do you want us to fold it?
Yes, please.
Yes, everyone fold them once you're done writing on them.
As many times as you can.
Not as many times as you can.
Thank you, no.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I should do it, you're right.
What do you think he voted for?
It was D. Yeah,
He wrote my name in.
It is reflecting, yeah. Makes sense.
Thank you, Sonia.
Mine is yours.
Really?
Oh, thank you.
You should already.
Huh? Hell no.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Just the level of discomfort it seems.
Yeah?
What would you do if if it was unanimous?
If it was me,
Right.
I was like, I don't have time for that.
No, I'm not doing
I
that.
decline.
Any other ballots out?
Passionate about it.
Read your mind.
So somebody did it, hit right on contact, and just like, we heard the sound, we were like, we just all stopped, and we were like, what was that?
I don't know him.
Someone went to the hospital. Yes.
Just saw John.
Yeah.
Like spilled.
51.
You want to be the vice president. Yeah, but like,
Yes.
to do anything, to understand the president, you have to like, the gavel, secretary, speaker. Treasurer is the most.
No, like
Usually the usually the medicine like won't help, so I just haven't been able to get back to my
This person doesn't do shit, that's the job you want, then you just get to put it on your resume. You get to Biden it up, bro. You get to come on there, pretend like you did shit, not have done anything. You like Al Gore, good and bad memoirs.
Total.
I'm
so excited.
Secretary runs the meeting.
He goes to Saturn.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, secretary, I feel like it's
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure she does.
You don't have
Rita, what do
any.
you do?
Wait, no, 12. Oh, right, on Thursday.
It sounds like work.
Unless it comes out early.
If you're not,
Oh, no, I would be saying that was an album anyway. I will probably go to sleep.
oh, she has to do the meeting notes.
I like your hair was like
Okay, so.
I just don't think you blame.
I don't know what it looks like a triangular shaped like
I'm totally
You feel presidential.
It's fine, I'm from Westport.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it was
Shave it all off again. Glasses on to make sure.
I think that
So it's gotta be before mine, Trey.
I think she's gonna.
No, it's fine.
Shave just a bit.
You're bringing up voices and, oh god, you gotta change that
It's not
speech.
cliche.
Yeah, totally. We sound like every sad Democrat candidate that changes their speech for every meeting they go to. They're just gonna like spit out generic one-liners.
I also own a wedding. I'm a wedding planner. Did you have pros? You got that. So
I do love talking.
What is that? Yeah,
She just said it was sad.
oh,
When it comes on in the car, we're headed somewhere.
I have a whole photo album. Every like time I saw you on
The ability to make people laugh. I'm sorry.
I have not.
Talk about running for president for freshman class.
I watched the first one episode and I was like, wow,
I like it.
I'm gonna have Riz to get elected.
I think we have
I like the honesty. I just like him. I like the two extremes.
Like American president.
Trump has that distinctive way. It's great. Everyone's great. He's gonna be very great again. Yeah, it's tremendous. It's tremendous. He's got the hand.
Hi.
No, they're the best.
So we were unable to come to a majority, so that means we're gonna do another round of voting. And then after that, if there's not a majority, then we will do speeches, and it's a 5-minute speech. And it's just, yeah, it's really chill. So right now we're gonna do another round of voting, and I'm gonna go grab the ballots. Cool.
Thanks, Tess.
Thank you both, Chris.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, right at 2 in the top corner.
Can we
this
just,
time. Yeah.
Dante, can we just amend the process right now to do plurality voting? We can't.
Election is happening soon.
Okay, right at 1.
We're all gonna do our
A
election
2.
commissions and want to change
A
this.
2.
Right, yeah, I mean.
A 2.
If it becomes invalid, make sure there's a 2 in the corner.
If it deadlocks again, does it like go to the house or something?
Chris, I missed you. I like how
No, there is no house.
I know, it's so nice.
It goes tell us. Wait, that's
I'm voting the same person.
Oh, everybody is. And
I told you the other day also.
It's more on my birthday.
Jack, now's your chance. Like, run around the room.
Yeah, like knock them off on their paper.
I was wondering, we'll start taking bribes.
I feel like think about how long it took to speaker.
You're welcome. No way.
Did you give it away?
Like your shirt, so
I wake up to like someone I can tell.
Yeah.
This is passive measure, right? We are the
What?
world. Just pass
I thought you just said I'm not gonna get it.
Actually,
No.
trust me, I wish.
I did not look at
So
all.
do you guys like all
But my question is, why did we start the meeting with that and then changing that and then
We can't do that during an election.
damn the rules.
First,
we vote to change that rule and change it during an election. Then we immediately change it.
I don't know, Ally was.
You know, plurality voting would be. So nobody gets a majority, then it's like the second most. So then reduce down to the top two. Yeah. No, we're not gonna do, it would be nice, see, this is what we need to change, this is what the meeting should have been about that, and then the next meeting.
That somebody puts up against us.
I literally wanted Tamia, is that how, okay.
Right,
I was
yeah,
like-
make that
I was
part
about
of-
to say it, and I was
part of
like,
your
oh
next
wait,
speech.
Tamia. I got Tamia's today.
Tamia?
Okay, Tamia,
Get like a four-person debate.
Marina, you know what? I'm gonna say you probably need to. I literally just said that.
I say we get a couple of plastics in the gaming area, throw them in the middle,
You can vouch
make
for
them
that,
fight over it. Election high combat.
Oh, hello.
Sing it.
I know. I'm all. This is all pretty much everything is.
Oh, you're both matching.
So you.
That's what we're talking about. Even the
Childlike combat, that's what I
But
say.
actually, I got to very early this morning.
Wasn't realistic
Yes. Deputy speaker, it's not even that important. They could like, do like another.
Hey, that's shiny. How are you gonna do one?
They could do like a vote based off of like who's like the best like singing in this room. If you wanna be a good speaker,
Wasn't even an election. No, it was after like the
American.
It's got a big.
Yeah, American Idol.
like asking something. So we were just talking about that. And then Warner was talking for like an hour on that. It was a long time.
This reminds me of a. No, that was just like in the 2000s, like super close presidential election.
Before or after your birthday?
It's a little like this.
Oh.
So this is how like Parliament's working.
And it went up.
Really.
You can name your child.
Oh yeah, we're out.
Oh, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it would. To see if they would stop this.
Look at the job to like really I'm not coming in.
Yeah, and do a question.
Yeah. Steel.
That was some process. They demanded a like.
Because we don't get as many benefits like
She went on that stage.
go to my CS job, but if I think less than
Yeah, we're gonna like just a session speech like in Tennessee.
John doesn't know.
I'm guessing this might be
so like why
and
didn't
then
you
he said, we should be going chilling after
Maybe
midnight.
You check my name.
That's terrible.
Process before eventually.
Here they come.
Same answer. People have, there's a lot of like stuff that was like kind of fishy.
Hi.
That was so weird.
So we are still not at a majority, So that means start cooking on some speeches. I'm gonna give like 2 minutes to just like have a second to breathe, collect yourself, figure out what you're gonna say, and then we're gonna start in the same order we just did speeches in. So it'll be Jack, then it will be Daria, and then it will be B, and then it'll be Lucas. Cool? Okay. 2 minutes.
Hi Dante. Hi.
There's something called like a two spot or
I know, I was like, I don't
think
know.
we're like, damn, we choose the top two candidates to be as a runoff, that's
It's getting so
We have
6 or 7 weeks.
I'm not gonna tell you anything
I don't
about
have a name for it.
Yeah.
otherwise we're going to the Supreme Court.
You watch Peacemaker?
Awesome. Okay, I guess I'm signing up for
No,
that.
it was.
No, it wasn't.
No.
I know.
I don't have a name tag. I don't have a name tag. Oh, it's my fault.
Take me to so much.
Well, it's your first time, but you're excited.
Yeah, they just
Big deal.
It's more the fault of the idea that they have like as many different spots and still expect them
I don't have a name. I just like like devil's advocate in class.
Like him.
is the most like the most out of any candidate we
Yeah, I know. I get all my
like get a presidential election, I guess like I'm trying to get 270 at least, but if there are like 3 candidates and no candidate wins at least 270, and then it wins deadlock is
I think it's
sorry, but it funnily enough, like presidential elections the same way you can on the board
I like when
Like decade.
yeah.
So,
Give me an example. In the 1800s.
Oh yeah.
I've been in a four-way race.
I bet like as they do.
they're not setting their, they're not setting their.
Yeah, but I really wanna see it.
So actually wins the most. Not win the majority.
Yo, thank you all for listening. Okay, so you guys all have a 5-minute speech. You don't have to use the full 5 minutes if you don't want to. So first is Representative Doyle.
Once again, we gotta go zoom in.
Could have changed your mind.
All right, everyone. Hi, welcome back. Round 3 too, but second time hearing me. What's going on? I'm getting flashbacks to when Ben and Lucas were duking it out. We had like 8 rounds of that. That was hopefully we don't get there. Anyway, I want to remind everybody, just starting again, I had Dante's endorsement, so just keep that in the back of the brain. I know everybody talked and whatever, but Dante's endorsement, he's the president, Anyway, what I noticed when everybody else was presenting, since I went first, I didn't introduce myself in like any way, shape, or form. I'm a total technology guy. My name's Jack Doyle. I'm into computer science, artificial intelligence. I got a minor in cybersecurity. Whatever. I'm not a big fan of the minor, whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I also didn't talk about the annual survey, which Dante graciously reminded everybody exists. The annual survey, traditional conditions and services like requirement that they go over it at the end of the year. I kind of thought it was included, but an online survey isn't like the worst thing in the world. Lucas had some great points. I'm not trying to take anything from him, but he wants to put like technology by the lemonade stand or whatever. Like, whether I win or not, like that's a good move. Like, we need the service to be more accessible. Whether it's like already logged in, just somebody can walk right by and do it. I think that's a fantastic idea, the annual survey. It is pretty important. I fill it out, but everybody I know, everybody I hang out with does not fill it out. So it's like, I bug them and I'm like, do it. And they're like, I gotta log in, like, whatever. When there's a will, there's a way, and we'll fix the annual survey. As far as common issues that just need to get fixed, I also heard them get brought up. What's going on with Willard Hall? That thing's gotta go. The parking is horrendous. Like all these things can be fixed, and this stuff will be brought up. Like Tess wants that one crosswalk really bad. You know what I mean? Like she really wants that crosswalk. Dawn, they got a new thing about the vending. Like you have specific vending machine money. No, it's a whole thing. Whatever. I could go on a rampage. Anyway, everybody wants to expand the town hall, more people. Dante was telling me during the freshman orientation, we were killing it over there. He was telling me that he wanted Parliament to be packed this year. He wanted a lot of people to be here. So if we expand the town hall, we're going to expand Parliament, and that's the goal. We want as many students to be able to have as much input as possible. I don't mind talking to anybody. I'll talk to I'll talk anybody up. Any student that wants to come up at town hall, I don't mind sitting down and we'll find a solution. If not, these guys will, and I'll have a solid connection with them. But yeah, other than that, I got really nothing else. Everybody had some great points. Everybody heard them really well. That's it though. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Doyle, for multiple name drops. Up next is Representative Campbell.
I just want to reiterate that I am running for Deputy Speaker because I believe every student deserves to be heard. If elected, I'll prioritize student feedback through bi-weekly tabling sessions led by the Conditions and Services Committee. Each session will focus on a specific campus area, like the Student Union or Fogarty, and include short surveys to gather real-time input. Additionally, I will push for more town hall meetings each semester, scheduled on different days to increase accessibility. Beyond that, I want to introduce Student Voice Spotlights, a monthly feature where we would highlight student concerns and ideas in SCG communications. This will help keep the conversation going and show students their input leads to visible change. I also plan to work with campus services to create feedback loops. So when students raise issues, they'll get updates on what's really being done. Transparency builds trust, and trust builds community. I'm committed to turning student concerns into action. Let's make sure your voice shapes our campus. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Thank you, Representative Campbell. Up next, we have Representative Bach.
Hey again. I'm a little bit frantic. It's been a long day, but I did want to emphasize the reason for coming here and some of my experiences, draw back on that in my speech. I came to Rick because it felt like home, felt like Cranstonese. I'm from Cranston, Rhode Island resident, and I think that what we do very well is we're a very diverse community. We have a bunch of people who come here from very different backgrounds. We have older students, students who are parents, students who are coming here for the first time, pursuing another bachelor's degree, master's degree. We have students, students of color, students who are multilingual, first generation students. And I think, again, bringing up the point with the rising number of students coming into school, we need to also focus on not forgetting the students who are already here and remembering that they also have a voice and that their, career here at Rick shouldn't be forgotten just because we have a new group coming in, just because we have, students who are more interested in this program and it's bringing in more money, or this program because it makes us look good. So I really would like to emphasize that point, and I think working with new student programs, working in admissions, working as an orientation leader, it kind of ties in together, understanding how these students think, what they want, and what they really need, which is why I'm here. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
Representative Ba. Up next is Representative Weber.
Hello everyone again. I mentioned this in my speech last year, but previously I served as the web lead for a national website, and part of that role was collecting analytics on how people went to the website, how people explored the website, and so what that taught me is that data is pretty much everything. The survey is like the most data you can collect, but in my opinion, it can be used for a lot more things. So I want to take that data and use it for a lot more change, send it to different campus offices and see what their opinion is on the data and maybe why, for example, almost half of the people don't really like the academic advising here and how we can improve that as one example. That's one thing that as I was looking through the survey, caught my eye last when I was writing this. And then also, many of you may or may not know, we do have a general feedback form. It's not promoted really right now, but I definitely want to promote that in a central way too. Like, if you have a problem or something positive going on, it doesn't have to be anything bad, but just emphasizing that the form is out there, and then myself will be monitoring it and sending that to the right people to get them to either address the issue or just promote like positive change happening on campus. And it could also be used for like, I know that I learned about the bistro possibly opening later through ResLife, and so that wasn't necessarily communicated to like all of the RIC students, and it's a way to sort of promote that. But yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, now we're doing another round of balloting. We did have people writing the wrong number in the corner. You put a 3, not a 1, not a 2, a 3, okay?
What number?
3. Thank you.
We're gonna be here until 10 p.m.
It was like 8 or 9.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much, Sonia.
Oh, I like to put my pen almost fold it up before I put it.
Here you go.
What's mine is yours.
Thank you.
Probably feels
Thank you.
yeah.
That makes me a bad person. Or like spell out the word.
Thanks, Sonia.
Do you vote for Isabella?
Give away whose ballot it was.
Oh my god, that's all I heard.
It's gonna have the curve makes that feel like that.
It's crazy, like, I was looking for the stick, dude, given like her stick so far apart, like favorite part, and it's like Austin, there's each of them as friends. So
What
No,
Does anyone else have a ballot?
After? Is that a blank one or is that?
No.
Oh, when are they closed? Okay. Any other ballots? Going once? Going twice?
Wait, you forgot one.
you guys like how to get cookies again?
One time
I'm getting that. Yeah, and then we had to do a meeting after.
it was between 2 people.
It was so long. We had to write like, we got like 6. We wrote like 6 on
There's like 4 rounds.
Bro, this is gonna be worse.
And then it's just the rest of the business.
That's why we should do plurality votes.
After that, it's the wrestling process. Write my name in, come my
Why are we
conditions.
so even that we can't even eliminate? Because they did that before,
Just like,
between
you gotta get rid of the
they like there were
like I.
yeah.
So the real answer is to go around and say, for you and just hand them extra ballots, right?
You know, if you were supposed to.
When we get to round 8, I'm gonna start telling people that I think like to me, just vote for somebody. At some point, it's like, oh.
they have to do a lot of stuff. Like the fact where you How much time do I actually
It's
want
funny,
to
you
put
do
into
that,
put into the
these guys drop some, because you did that, that's me, that'd be so funny.
Here's hope.
You're the person that I knew. You're the person that like when I first got into SCG, you know what I mean?
Are you gonna take a motion for you to leave to go to public before that?
Okay, let's start. Let's start. To get from where offices to the building. We actually had like a really narrow like pass to make sure it landed.
That part's not too surprising.
This is the that we're gonna get to.
It's the money one too.
Oh.
And then you get like, you certainly get paid.
Like I must.
You need to split that first.
Oh yeah.
And then
then
we had
like
21.
another-
Make a motion to.
So then we got like, why would I go? Where am I gonna go?
How was BJ? Is that like anything that
That's all we
I
gotta do. I think you should just like anything in the memo.
just said?
I'll get to the
I'm not gonna argue
with that. No, and we're like,
Yeah, that's all.
yeah, we're like, yeah, lies.
So that's coming up.
I would rather.
It's gonna be a big fight about senior class.
I get so I get sad when like other people like
Oh, is that what this is?
yeah. Where are you working currently?
Yeah, why doesn't make hand up there?
Am I picking one?
Who's assistant?
Okay, we still have no majority. So I will have an offer. So I could tell you the number of each person if you'd like, or we can do, well, regardless, we're gonna do another round of voting, and if there's still no majority, then it's just the top two candidates from then on. So do you guys want to hear the number or no? Raise your hand if you want to hear the number.
Yes.
Okay, that's like everyone.
With the people.
Alright, I wanna announce something. So, right now Jack currently has 11 votes, Zaria has 2 votes, B has 8 votes, and Lucas has 5. So, we're gonna do another round of balloting.
Hey Maddie. How you doing?
Oh no, I'm just gonna.
For the like the fourth time since here.
4 in the corner. What are you putting in the corner? 4.
Foul.
This is groups or 5.
6 or 7.
Helping this drag out.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You just said it louder because you're mad.
It's so funny. I just video.
I thought he was saying
Alright, so
Check your soul.
is this like the second to last one? This one will be the top two?
The next one's gonna be top.
I don't
I want they're gonna try that in a minute.
We got some.
Batman.
I'm like not even There were no bad options and other options are considered.
Did everybody's already get collected? And I'm
You know what's good though?
Is anyone still not turned in a ballot? Okay.
once.
I
Twice.
feel like I can
Can you see what happens?
And so now I don't have to, well, I did it
And
the
now
day it
you
was due.
don't have to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what?
did it at like 8. Now I can chill all by myself, no stress all day.
No, I'm saying like
So like
No.
I have a lot of days and I have
Meeting on Wednesday.
days.
It's so hard not to skip back.
We're not leaving on Wednesday.
Cause like you go like
didn't you put your
The weekend,
It's 31%, it's 31%.
there was an election that wasn't just like that, but it was the election of
Yeah.
you got 4 candidates,
Oh
one
my
was like
God.
Speaker of the House,
No.
that's 5,
Lisa,
the
what are
House
they trying to
decides the election of the state, and there's no election.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Julian Crawford,
Yeah.
who ended up withdrawing, I think some part of the process.
Oh, good, okay.
Accessibility for finance.
And we voted on it first.
Jessica, and then robotics and organ translation. It's like it's
Do a
not,
name?
and you can join in because they're not on the same page, but it's specific to adults because it's after.
Adding on to.
Oh yeah, Jay.
So, you know how sometimes you hear that
No.
Yeah, like for example, you know, they win the votes in the right states, but they don't win this world. In 1824, the winning candidate did not win the popular vote, and they didn't win the election. Top of my secret. So what happened was the most electoral votes.
I don't know things, I just
It's
gotta
not like,
ask.
it's not like.
Yeah, but I thought, that's why I was asking low key like that.
So it goes to the House of Representatives.
On the low though, right, John?
No,
Your
no.
bag is not even preferred for
You can't
much
do
that
it.
he hated Jackson.
they're not.
I'm not.
So
8,000
because he didn't
they
like
changed
Hillary.
it.
Oh, I'm not.
Just a general.
So
So he convinced people in the House.
So the change here that they're
House
actually
would
regulating,
emphasize regulation, just went together.
right, so his senior position get the
He did
15,000.
not win, but the amount of money won't change when they apply the
For meetings, and
Like it's
it
not.
will just be for senior.
No,
And then it would be for the whole year. Do it at a but then they're asking for an additional.
so the Speaker of the House, Henry Clay, not only decided, he was running in the election, and then that is legal, that's he had input in it.
As a gift for them or a gift for us? No, the school.
The House, the people, the representative, the House of Representatives, like it comes to it. Thankfully, it can't be deadlocked, it's just a simple majority.
You were using my
And
money.
it's like-
That's like if I
And that
mug
ended
you
up
and
going.
then like, hey.
So you could say, so I just.
Having received a majority of votes cast, Jack Doyle is hereby declared to be elected in the office of Deputy Speaker for the rest of the term 2025-2026.
I don't know if it's like that, I guess Wixie tag.
Okay. Yes,
Dare I ask, can we hear like what the vote was or not?
that depends on whether or not everyone wants to hear it.
Can I get a motion to who wants to hear the vote? Can I get a motion to approve hearing the votes? First by Representative Russell, seconded by Representative Kong, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, raise your hand if you said aye.
For
Which
which
one?
which one?
For now,
For no, if
For
you
no.
said no. I don't know how to count.
I think that's enough people to not do it,
Okay,
so we're not doing it.
alright, so not passed.
We will move on to remarks from our Deputy Speaker-elect, Representative Doyle. You can just do it from there if you want.
Hi, everybody. I think everybody was so fantastic. Thank you for voting for me. I know that we were here a little bit, a couple rounds. Super excited, everyone. I totally came in here not really feeling it. I thought maybe like round 2 or whatever, and then I'd get the cut. But no, I'm here. I'm so excited. I'm ready to make some change. Everybody was so fantastic. I was ready to change my vote, like really. I was stealing from Lucas's speech. B was incredible, Zari. You were great. But really, thank you, everybody.
Thank you to all of our candidates who ran. You guys gave literally the best speeches I've ever heard in an election. It was genuinely incredible to see. So thank you all. So we're going to adjourn and then we will take a short recess, about 10 minutes. So we'll say at 8:15. So can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting? First by Secretary Colonis, second by Representative Seguin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Adjourned.
We should all abstain because we all want to go do stuff.
Dante Di Gregorio.
Present.
Marina Colonis. Present. Miguel Hoyos.
Here.
Tess Sullivan.
Present.
Benjamin Tammany.
Present.
Brianna Acosta. Isabella Bob. Here. Joshua Ballesteros.
Here.
Zari Lynn Campbell. Present. Sonia Chisayan. Present. Jack Doyle.
Aye.
Falola Oluwatomisin. Elias Gendron. Jamie Goldberg.
Here.
Alexandra Howlett. Here. Riley Jackman.
Here.
Alex Pham.
Here.
Alex Logan. Here. Paige Marshall.
Here.
Madison Mello. Here. Marcus Pacheco.
Here.
Kai Reed.
Here.
Marcus Rocha.
Present.
Haley Rose. Chris Russell.
Here.
Jason Sanchez.
Here.
Jonathan Sequin.
Here.
Tamia Smith. Here. Nelson Tashin. Here. Lucas Weber.
Present.
Cindy Kozel. Carrie Levis. Melissa Marcotte. Ted Zito.
Here.
Matthew James.
Present.
Thank you. We'll do that 2 more times.
Alright, we're back for 8:15.
Make our own voting.
See you around.
Pretty cool.
You're no longer one of us.
I was gonna mention
Like,
late.
once you
Thank you. I was
go
gonna.
to the bathroom, actually. See the fun.
You are MRC.
I am the side.
Oh, highly recommend. I was considering applying to some jobs there before I got this job. With MRC?
Yeah.
Technician stuff. Because you don't need like a specialized degree for that. And it was like hands-on,
Thank you, Matt.
which is like.
Turn it down without you. Your support.
So I was,
Riley's been on class council for a minute and she can explain
So-
that.
with Laughlin Research Corporation.
Yeah, so,
Look,
okay.
I literally just
I would
Googled
say
it, cause
there's
I don't know what
like-
MRC is.
Yeah,
so-
like
Laughlin
Laughlin
Research
Research
Corporation.
everyone.
Thank you, thank you.
Everything, cause you're. That was insane generation.
I'm so glad I didn't have to vote.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is really hard. I don't think I can
Yeah,
do this
dude.
right now.
Except for somebody was like, I read 4 positions before even that runoff went last, like at the end of the year last year.
Oh my
For
gosh.
7 rounds, cause you were already like an hour or 2 in.
Yeah.
Contemplating life.
That was hard. Good job.
First election done.
First election done.
Only ready for third
Please
election.
Hopefully there's no more special elections.
I'll do an election for alumni, I'm kidding.
But yeah, so wait, do you work for MRC?
Wait,
Okay. But you can make a long career out of MRC.
Can I
So is there like summer internship that you, like special internship you did that like you could report into, or?
I don't know, well, I could talk to my supervisor.
Was it like a posting online?
What I did was I applied to New York, and then New York contacted me and said, "There's still hiring."
Oh.
Right,
With
duh.
MRC.
Yeah.
So we'll send you, we'll just recommend you to MRC, then MRC will call you, and MRC call you. Oh, the contractor, the funds are gonna run me there, like, especially to like, a lot of people that I work with are from MRC.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I'll figure it out. There's like people who start, interns typically get.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't wanna touch this.
Yeah, there were a
Supposed to be
lot
like
of
7
really
months for that clearance, so.
Yeah, I think
Either way,
He's doing a lot.
it's actually.
Why is everyone going on walk?
That's why.
But this time last year?
Actually, I started, like,
I'll be done.
That's when you started your position? Okay, wow.
Oh, cause you can't start working.
Get out.
So January. Yeah, I'm looking for jobs right now. Oh yeah, internships. Interested in applying for an internship?
Yeah, they do have, they have openings, like
even on Indeed.
I'm just excited that I should.
You work part-time, right now.
Yeah, I agree.
As long as it's on the side.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Was that? Let's hope
Yeah.
not, let's hope not.
I mean, that makes sense, they just want good people, right? Yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff.
I didn't even think of that.
We have 3.
Sure.
Deca, Morgan, Spencer, Jen, they've got, I have 7 openings.
Very hard.
You're
running it next year and staying involved. I think it's just Jack's.
But so many, like, you'll see so many who are just like, but I have the ID. Those are the ones that's
so
like,
like.
oh, I was interested in applying to because even as like
You know what I mean?
and you're like tech.
Roll that, are you
I know some people like made a career out of it.
Madison Mello.
You're a junior.
You just had it.
Yeah, only had to make those first house and like retired super young and like, you know,
Wow.
with Swift to like a really good salary.
Of education, some college coursework.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Really
I
trippy.
think this is the intern science and engineering.
I think that's the one I got.
Intern underscore company underscore one.
That one.
Approved.
Where's oh, right.
Oh,
They
you
put
got
me
referred
in,
by,
they put me
yeah.
into some machine learning thing.
This just has
And it's
this.
not a job.
It was like a custom built for you role. It's like, here's your skills.
So someone had a side project
Okay.
and then it's machine learning. And
Okay.
and then they're like, oh yeah, we need to do that.
They have some cool stuff.
There's cool stuff. I don't recommend it now. But
Ooh.
the actual analysis role, no,
Yeah.
that's dangerous.
Why?
Teachers, I guess it's my personal opinion.
My friend works as a data analysis.
I had one math
I got this, I went to this candy store.
Yes.
Red
chocolate
bar with
But when you just did
no.
notes and you like just
pretzel chocolate bar. I got 100% pretzel chocolate bar.
Thanks for the feedback.
just public speaking.
This is stored.
Some people do better.
Well, it's not candy, but it's a chocolate brand that I got at that one time at Target.
When I have notes.
That one brand, that one time it works. Maddie at Target.
Every time you just think, come on, just like.
Which time?
Everything you want to do. You're so hard for that.
Not to like not care about what you're saying, but I really don't care at all.
I need a meeting with you tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
We can do it tonight.
I'm gonna go
I don't
with
know. I don't know
No,
if all of it.
Oh, this first was 7 rounds.
I think
I don't remember, do you
so.
remember how many candidates got?
I can't imagine
I
this.
just looked at the
5?
agenda and it was
But anyway.
4?
5, but first they got.
I hope I'm not like just
No, I-
talking.
There's 5
Oh,
originally,
right,
she got a
right,
higher
right,
percentage
right,
than she did.
Yeah, we don't do plurality, so like.
Yeah.
And it's like.
Yeah.
So interesting.
There's no chocolate.
He's my math.
9 rounds, oh my god.
And that was just a
We need to change.
No, I just want them to stand.
Good.
I gotta say, like,
So it's 2 people who like
yeah,
it's just
that looks great. Maybe yes.
Chocolate XOXO.
Shoot the shit with it.
like when I was
It's just dangerous.
Bigger deal. Alright, we can't, don't run on some sidewalks.
Yeah, my friend works for
Chocolate bar. I was
we were trying to think about how we change it, so it's like.
she's like an opposition
Try one, that would be very exciting. That's true. It would be entertaining.
Okay.
We would all be like,
Over,
yes,
like,
more
the-
elections.
I haven't had a brain like that. I know
Just get the small pieces.
Make it work.
Make it work.
It's not my thing is machine learning is
So like somebody asked a company side project to develop a machine that'll take the job of something. I wonder if the person takes the job that he doesn't like.
You ever call a peeler just like the outside layer?
That's like, I want to go for your eyes are
We need one more chair, right? Oh no, they got after 3 rounds, trial by I'd be happier to sit here and do elections. It seems a little unfair, but it's like maybe a baseball game. You think she'd just be fine?
Well, I mean, it's kind of fun.
But it's, with you with baseball bat, that's a, maybe that's too much advantage. A little dash.
The other flavors, the other flavors, like the outside doesn't wrap all the way around, like it stops at like the outside and then you just peel it off. Like the other flavor. I don't feel it though, I think it's. No.
Almost.
I don't have classes tomorrow. I don't have classes tomorrow. I have classes on Monday, and I don't have classes this weekend. How about you? Oh, are you? Yeah, my was literally done by 3.
Yeah, I told my buddy earlier.
Hi, meeting.
Yeah, it's so massive. I was like, you should come down and camp.
So I have the 10 to 11 PC,
Fish for the weekend.
12 to 1
Striped bass.
That's Tuesday, Wednesday, I have.
It's great. It's a fun time of the year when fish start migrating from New Brunswick, Canada, to Chesapeake Bay, and huge schools of bait just start coming into this area.
I have to write a 10-page essay.
I've gone fishing one time and I had a good time. I caught like a big bass.
Baseball game, maybe 4
I'll go with this.
But I remember the two.
Okay.
I remember you
I'm
because
majoring in
we had to get to the names.
You know, you gotta figure out what they're feeding on. And find them.
I think you have a good shot.
I'm her little brother.
Yes, my name.
Yeah, for when we were in recreation center.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Tess and Monica.
I'm grabbing
I know the team.
Oh, no, okay,
Oh, it's gonna start small. That's fine.
Yes. Why would you switch to creative writing?
I wanna come back and teach, I do wanna write books, and I wanna come back and teach one of them.
Not too full.
Don't do that.
And that was.
Yeah.
How do you? I think
None of the filters are.
if I'm not
None of the filters are.
Oh, really? They got a little answer writing. Feels that is something
Yellow and
that's
they-
everyone's yellow. You gotta build up your mind system. Whatever class.
Right.
That's a photo.
Help themselves, right?
God helps everyone who asks.
Should we start with
Did you ask?
I can ask you,
It's like,
You can answer yet?
can you give me when the timing's right?
We got on here.
training is so much fun. You could have, I was having a ball.
Yes.
All right, everybody. For those who are new, that is how an election works. You're gonna start the second part of the meeting. Once again, it is September 24th. It is 8:18 p.m. Nikita, would you please take roll call?
Oh, yes. Don Pedro Gorfeo.
Present.
Marina Colones.
Present.
Miguel Hoyos. Miguel
Oh, he's right there.
Tess Sullivan.
Present.
Benjamin Tomini.
Present.
Brianna Acosta. Isabella Bob. Here. Joshua Ballesteros.
Hi.
Ariellen Campbell. Sandeep Sayed. Jack Doyle.
Come on.
Salola Oluwatomiz. Elijah Gendron. Amy Goldberg.
Here.
Alexandra Howlett. Here. Riley Jackman. Here. Alex Cobb.
Here.
Alex Logan. Present. Paige Marshall. Here. Madison Mello. Here. Marcus Pacheco.
Here.
Kai Reed.
Here.
Marcus Rocha. Haley Rose. Chris Russell.
Here.
Jason Sanchez.
Here.
Jonathan Seaman.
Here.
Tamia Smith. Here. Nilsa Kostian. Here. Lucas Weber.
Present.
Cindy Kozel. Terry Levis. Melissa Marcotte. Ted Zito.
Here.
Matthew Jake.
Still here.
Alright, thank you.
Could be either
Okay. Thank you, Nikita. Could everyone take a moment, please, to quickly look over the agenda? Okay, I would like to seek a motion to approve the agenda for today. First by Representative Seguin, second by Representative, that's a word, Goldberg. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Passed. Next, we are going to approve, sorry,
Oh, sorry, that was Seguin and who else?
Goldberg.
Goldberg, thank you.
Yes, sorry. Next, we are going to look at last meeting's minutes. Nikita?
Just make sure you do, because it's 2 sets of minutes, so it's gonna need 2 approvals.
Okay, thank you. Matt, Representative
I was
Jacobs?
present. I'm not listening. Present.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to seek a motion to approve the first set of meeting minutes. First by Deputy Speaker Doyle, second by Representative Jackman. Any discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, passed, and I would like to seek a motion to look over the second set of meeting minutes. First by Deputy Speaker Doyle, second by Representative Russell. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Passed. We are now going to move on to officers' announcements. I yield the floor to President DiGregorio.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to congratulate Representative Doyle. I'm going to induct him now, so Jack, if you can see that. That's really beautiful for him.
I, Jack Doyle, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Deputy Speaker of Rhode Island College Student Community Government Incorporated, and will do my best of my ability to protect and uphold the bylaws of SCG. I will promote a sense of community and foster the growth of student interests and welfare as a whole, and honor the integrity of the mission of Student Parliament and all of its committees, and commissions thereof in Rhode Island College.
Congratulations.
Can we let it go?
Alright. Let's talk about Jack Doyle. Okay, so now for my announcements. I'm just gonna go over what I've been doing recently because there's a lot. So Vice President Sullivan and I are meeting with the interim Vice President of Finance, Anastasia Rodriguez. to talk about accessibility concerns around campus this Friday. It was brought up at the last meeting, so I figured I'd give you an update on where we're at with that. I also reached out to all of the student governments in the state to potentially have an e-board member and parliament members sit in on their meetings and have some of their members sit in on our meetings. This would be to exchange ideas between student governments and have our members report back what is going on with their students and their ideas potentially. So please let me know if you're interested in potentially doing that. So far, I've reached out to PC, they got back to me, and URI. URI is the only one who told me when their meetings are, which is 6:30 on every Wednesday. So let me know if you're interested in that. I also wanted to let you guys know that I joined the National Association of Student Government Presidents, which is just like a big group chat full of, I believe, 63 other student government presidents. This will give me the ability to learn and understand what's happening with other student governments and student bodies across the country. I also have a meeting with a member of the Campus Master Plan Committee next week to go over updates with that committee. Once I'm updated, I'll report back all this information to Parliament, and any of you can feel free to reach out to me separately to let me know your thoughts on how we can improve campus. I also wanted to let you all know that if anyone is interested in anything they hear during these meetings, feel free to let me or any of the e-board members know so that we could get you potentially a part of the solution to these problems. That way you don't just have to listen to us talk the whole time, and potentially we could have more discussion among Parliament members. I yield the floor. I yield the floor to Vice President Sullivan.
Awesome, thanks. Hi, everybody. Okay, I have so many words. You thought you could get rid of me talking for all over, but I'm back. Okay, first thing is about PR. Okay, locking in. I have a Dell's sign up sheet. Basically what's gonna happen is that we're gonna do Dell's again. I'm really excited about it. I made a little logo. But this is basically taking your time from the free period from 12 to 2, and you're gonna hand out Dell's. Here's what we're gonna do. If you do the number 1 spot, if you can do 12 to 1, and then do the number 2 spot if you can do 1 to 2. Does that make sense? So 1 is gonna be from 12 to 1, 2 is gonna be 1 to 2. And then just fill in those spots, and then if you see someone, like, make sure everybody has a buddy. And so this is gonna go around. What's also gonna go around in this is that if you're new, please join, please join our group meet. This is where we keep up to date with everything. So like if there's pictures today, or just like this is where we keep in the most context. So please join our group meet. So I'm gonna start passing that around now. Oh, and here's a pen. Make sure that pen gets back to Marina. Okay. So that's Dell's. If you didn't get photos today, which I think everybody did, but if you didn't get photos in front of there, please stay after the meeting. Paige is gonna take it. And then Rick Connect. So we're trying to get on Rick Connect so that more people know about us. So I think I sent an email out to most of you asking you to join our roster. But if you can go on Rick Connect and you look up Rick SCG, it says join. Please do that so we can see everybody on our roster. Groovy. Okay, next, elections. It's been a process trying to schedule, and that's totally on me, but we're figuring out time. It's looking like Thursdays 5 to 6 p.m. is gonna be the golden time. So if you're interested in doing that, or if you already told me you can do elections but you can't do that time, please email me and I will figure something out. I have a meeting this Friday about freshman elections. We're gonna do it on Rick Connect. See, it's a theme. And it's gonna I'm gonna figure out. Right now I'm the freshman class president, and so we're gonna figure out, thank you, we're gonna figure out a way to have all the freshmen join it, and then they can vote on there, because then it's more classified to only freshmen, and it's anonymous, a lot of wins. With that, I know there's a couple of freshmen in here. If you could tell students that next week is declaring, you can be freshman class president, vice president, secretary, or treasurer. You get to plan events for your class, you get to advocate for your class, and also, if you stay long enough, you could speak at graduation, so if you're president. So know that. What's next? Editing the policy. So we all just sat through that policy. First step, once you're on elections commission, is we're gonna change that so it's a lot faster, but I already been making some edits. We're also gonna change the policy for running versus voting, but I will bring that up in our thing. Last thing, guys, I'm so sorry, I have so many words. The artist has been decided. Right now we have an offer and it's been sent to Anastasia, the vice president of something. Thank you. And so hopefully in that process will start going and then we'll have that offer confirmed. We have a tentative date from Don Tencher. By a show of hands, and maybe I'll just remember it in my mind. So homecoming is in October. It's the whole weekend of 17th, 18th, 19th, and on the 18th there's a big concert. And what's that is that I have a lot of people on my committee volunteering to help set it up. Would anybody also want to help with that? It'd be a good experience because I'm probably gonna ask you guys to help set up the concert in when it happens. But would anybody would like to volunteer on that date so I can email you a link? If not, totally chill. Just show of hands.
What's the date again?
The 18th, October 18th. You want it? Jason, thank you. Alright. Anybody else? Thank you, Alex.
What day is that?
It's a Saturday.
It's in the evening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, got you. You're good.
It's like 8 p.m.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Have you done? Any other hands for volunteering for the concerts? Yes. Awesome. Quality to me at times. All right. Anybody else? Going once? Yes. Thank you, Josh. All right. Cool. Last call. All right. You'll all be getting an email from me as well if you're in my committee. Everyone's getting the link to this. I now yield the floor to Secretary Colonis.
Oh yeah, where's the
Alex.
Alex. Alright. Hi guys. As some of you may know, because you guys are returners, we have an annual holiday party in December. This year it's gonna be on December 9th at Wine and Cheese. It's over on Smith Street. So put your calendars for that. December 9th. You guys will receive an RSVP, so don't even worry about it. And also SOC is finally in session, so we have 3 clubs here that are going to stand in front of you guys in a couple minutes, so ask questions, and yeah, that's all I got. I'd like to yield the floor to Treasurer Moyes.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to give an update on the Finance Commission. We have, I believe, 15 student members now, and that's a lot, so I'm saying no one else can join unless people leave. So if spots open up, I'll let you guys know in one of these meetings again. But if you wanted to join finance, I'm sorry, you can't right now. So you have the policy change for the senior class in front of you, and then there's also the stipend policy change in the agenda. And we're talking about that later. We're just gonna do discussion at this meeting, and then at the next Parliament meeting, we're going to vote on it, possibly amend it and then vote on it. We already did this process through the Finance Commission, so last week I brought it there for discussion. This week we amended it, voted on it, both got approved there, so they just have to go through Parliament next. And then new clubs, if you guys get approved, can you give me your president and treasurer's contact information, please? I have to meet with them. That's all for me. I yield the floor to Speaker Tommy.
Okay, thank you, Treasurer Miguel. Desserts, I hope everyone's enjoying them. If you haven't grabbed one, you like one, if there's any left, please go grab one. Moving forward on the topic of having little food editor meetings, if anyone has any allergies they would like me to be aware of, feel free to come tell me, and I will relay that information to Dawn, as well as make sure we're displaying the proper information, and that's being done. This week I've been conducting orientation with our newest Parliament members, and I'm excited to see all of you here, minus 1 or 2. So I want to say thank you for taking the time to join Parliament, to come to my orientations, and then to be here now. And that is all I have today. I yield the floor to the brand new Deputy Speaker.
Guys, I'm so excited. Deputy Speaker, look at me. For the longest time, I sat there with Riley, Alex back there, and I looked up here. I was like, oh my god, I got in trouble for talking to them, so it might be a little better I'm up here. Hi everyone. Super excited. I have no like business or nothing, but Dante told me I didn't have to say something, but I really wanted to. Hi, I'm Jack. I don't necessarily like, you don't gotta like say anything special to me or whatever, but I'm around if you need me in any fashion. Very, very excited to be a part of the e-board. I don't know if I gotta like pass, I gotta yield. I'm gonna yield it back to Speaker Tomini.
Alright, thank you, Deputy Speaker Doyle. Moving forward, we are gonna move on to constitutions and organization conference points. So I yield the floor to Secretary Colonus.
No, I didn't bring mine. Alright, we're gonna start with DECA. So you guys have their constitution on your computer. Oh, yeah, sorry. If you guys wanna see it upstairs. It's gonna be like a queue. Make. Alright, I'd like to seek a motion to bring in DECA. First by Deputy Speaker Doyle, second by Representative Kong, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Alright.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good school year so far. My name is Jaide. I am the current president and founder of DECA now. This is my executive board.
Hi guys, I'm John Vaughn. I'm the current vice president of leadership for hopefully our new DECA chapter here at Rhode Island College, and I'm very excited to have the opportunity to bring DECA to Rhode Island College and the opportunities that comes with it.
I'm Ethan Harris. I'm the vice president of hospitality for DECA. I'm also excited to be here and share what I think is a great opportunity.
Hi everybody, I'm Constantine. I'm the VP of Career Development. As everyone has said too, we are all super excited for something like this because this could really help a lot of the School of Business and a lot of students. So hopefully we can show you today.
Yeah, so I'd like to start just explaining what DECA is. So we were founded in 1946. DECA stands for Distributive Education Clubs of America. It's a nonprofit student organization that aims to help college and university students prepare for careers in hospitality, marketing, finance, entrepreneurship, and through real-world experience and competition. So there are over 1,500 students worldwide in this country and internationally who are participating in this organization. And it's a career and technical student organization. It's open to all majors, not just business. So that might be the most prominent event.
So, why should Rick have DECA? So, fun fact, URI, Johnson & Wales, CCRI, and Bryant all have a chapter at their school. We are one of the only state-funded schools that don't also have it as well. So I feel like all the state schools should have all the chapters together, and having all the schools connected as well through School of Business and DECA as well. So what's the point and how can it affect someone's career? So DECA can give you real-world experiences in how you can see yourself in the workforce with different competitions and different case studies that you can learn from yourself. Especially with that fact that we have up there with different soft skills, a lot of different things when you think about critical thinking, talking, communication, and how you can take care of listening skills and interpersonal as well. Also, it shows that you learn more about the industry when you go through your freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, being able to show that you worked in different businesses and different environments and events, not just learning it, being able to experience it and have events. It's good as well. We also do hold a little bit of community service, so as an org that we could hopefully help towards the campus, we could have a lot of different things and work with School of Business, new students, and I see that we have a lot of new students on campus, so this could be a big thing to help bring a lot of the new students all together.
Alright, how does DECA work? Alright, I'm gonna mix up. So competitions, there's two parts of competitions, exams and case studies. Exams are a multiple choice based test based on one of the four sections, marketing, management, hospitality, or finance. And that's basically half of your grade. And then the other half is based on the case study, which is a time limited thing where you have limited time to solve a problem, come up with a solution, and then present it to a judge. And most of the time, judges for Collegiate DECA are actually volunteer professionals that actually work jobs inside of different businesses and organizations. So I think it's a great kind of dress rehearsal students get for their future careers.
Here's a couple of the events. It's a lot of different categories, a lot of different events. Highlighting my event was in high school was marketing management. So basically what we would do was we were given a case study of we had to basically turn around the sales team of this company because the sales were underperforming, and they drew from real life scenarios with real life companies. A lot of these companies too, they would be actively sponsoring the event itself. So Adobe, I think Microsoft, a lot of these big conglomerates that are going to employ a lot of our future students, to be honest, we're here actually promoting and sponsoring these events. So my event was marketing management sponsored by Adobe. And we were given real time to critically think about how to solve a problem that was with a cookbook, so it's real time stress environments that are actively simulating real life scenarios. And also another, just in Rhode Island, where it was very profound and touching to my heart was one of the teams from Bishop Hendricken was working to be a community entrepreneurship project. So it was a business, but they were a nonprofit. So they ended up becoming the second biggest North American tennis nonprofit in the world, or the North American, So they raised over 2,000 rackets for underprivileged communities, gave 300 tennis bags. So they're opening whole new avenues for people's lives, including myself. I mean, I'm a history major. I never thought I would be getting into a business world or a business aspect, but DECA was able to draw me in and use some of those qualities that I've had in my past experience in life of being able to talk to people and pitch ideas and stuff like that in the marketing, and really concentrate them into the career specific field to see, hey, do I really want to do this in my life? It just gives people new opportunities that they would not have to fully commit to, of actually giving their major or having a minor and real money. This is just time. So that's a big element that I think is very what's the word valuable for.
So these are just some of our quotes of how DECA has changed us over the years that we've been doing it. I've been doing DECA for the past 3 years. This will be my 4th year competing. 4 years ago today, I would not be able to speak to all of you like I am today without stuttering or completely breaking down. So the fact that I can do that today and not, kind of break down, it speaks for itself. What it's done for me, it's built my character a lot over the past 3 years.
My quote, DECA helped me realize the traits, my traits that would be advantageous in this world. I kind of touched that on a little earlier, but a lot of these scenarios that these high school students are coming from, East Providence didn't even have a business class besides AP Economics and Economics. We had financial literacy, but there was no basic business practices a lot of other schools have the opportunity to have. So DECA offers that opportunity that I would have never had if I hadn't given it a shot and given the light of day to it. So yeah, it's a very powerful thing that can really open a person's eyes in their life. And the experience I had with DECA was just so impactful in my life, and honestly had me second thinking: do I want to do history or do I want to do whatever? Yeah. So it's just eye opening, and I think people need to understand that those parts about themselves more that they might not be able to understand, that they're more than what they think they're good at, that they actually have these traits that they just don't know about that is actually very good. I mean, my story was I never did DECA before senior year of high school, and we ended up winning states. So and we didn't practice, we didn't do any of that. we just used the skills that we had and we were genuine enough that we ended up getting a chance to win and competing internationally for Rhode Island, and that was such a privilege to have. So it's a very powerful thing that is very unique to DECA.
So for my quote, I had DECA brighten my future. It gave me invaluable experiences and opportunities, and I stand by that for probably the next 2 years that I'm here, because I joined DECA about my midway junior, senior year, and it could completely change my career path. I was planning on going to school more towards physical training, PT stuff, but after being able to connect with a lot of the professionals and being able to experience some of these events and being able to be part of something so broad in the business world brought me to make a lot of connections and see everything so from a broader point of view. So that's why I feel like this is a big thing, and it could also help out a lot more students that are also in my position, because business is just one big word, but there's so many different sectors as we have up there. So everybody should be able to see and experience and get the chance to connect, and that's the best way to put it.
Just quick before we go, my quote was, DECA has helped me make connections, broaden my network, and sharpen my interpersonal skills. I think, like we said before, there's over 15,000 kids in Collegiate DECA, 275 chapters. I think there's just so many people you can meet, so many different aspects of life that come together to create one big community.
So, any questions? Open the floor to any questions people may have. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, where's the conference this year?
So the international conference is in Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, Louisville, Kentucky.
Last year was in Orlando, right next to Disney, and oh my god, it was amazing. It was they had the Orange Convention Center, I think it's what it's called. There's 25,000 kids in one room for the high school. 25,000 kids.
Yeah, there's a
You can't fathom it until you see it. It's like, and you have China, you have Germany, you have the UK, you have all these states. There's so many different people you get to meet that, like, I've never had the opportunity to do that in my life. I mean, even the US, we have a specific, unique opportunity to meet so many different people from so many places. But even that was, like, crazy compared to everything else. There's 25,000 kids in this huge one room. It's insane.
Representative Logan? Yes, I know that there's a DECA program at Coventry High School, or there was, that used to put out the giving tree every Christmas. Are you the same DECA, or is it a different organization altogether?
So we are the same DECA. The only difference is it's a different division. So there's high school and there's collegiate. The high school division has over 200,000 students in just high school competing. Collegiate tends to be a little bit smaller, like 15,000. And we are the same organization, just extending over to Rhode Island College.
So the high school one does the same things as the college, basically?
I would say that the high school one is a little more fun-based, and I wouldn't say less serious, because it is very serious. Nobody from Rhode Island has ever won an international competition in the 80 years I think it was, we joined in the 50s. Yeah, we joined in like the 50s, I believe. Rhode Island to DECA has never won class at DECA, so ICDC. So and they set themselves up for the competition. What we do kind of do is more of a networking, but also job, like posturing ourselves to get into positions for these companies. They do a lot of job fairs while at the convention, so it's a lot more like straight into the careers, and it would be like going into business school, or a little more adult, I guess is the right word.
Alright, Treasurer Williams?
Do you have an idea of like interests from the student body? How many people are interested in DECA, or have you already met with people?
Yeah, so other than our executive board, we have 6 other people who are interested just being members and competing. I've heard of quite a few other people who are thinking about joining, and just want more information on the time commitment. But yeah, we have quite a few people who have done it in high school before and are interested in doing it now.
So, Representative Pacheco?
Yeah, so these kind of organizations like require dues and money and stuff like that. How are you planning to budget for that? And also, what would like the conferences and such entail, cause we end up splitting some of the costs of that with you when you go to events. What are we looking at in terms of how much a year and?
It definitely varies in terms of how many people are gonna be in this organization. Because
Cause there's like a member fee for each student or?
yeah, it's $10. And then the Blazers are around like, cause Blazers are required to compete in DECA competition, so it's like $80 for a Blazer, but we plan on doing a lot of fundraising with the like local businesses, especially in the area. We did a lot of that in our chapters in high school to get the funds necessary to give people opportunities, especially with my school. We did months and months of fundraising to reduce the cost of the trips to the conferences. Like I believe before dues or before all of the fundraising, it was like $2,000 or $3,000 I think for 7 days in Florida.
A person?
A person.
Mhm.
And I think after fundraising we got it down to around $400 a person. So it's a lot
And
of.
then like attending them would be mandatory for everyone that's in the club?
No.
So
Or
it
just your-
depends on who places in the state competition. So for example, let's say the 4 of us are competing in the same event. Whoever places top 2 in the state competition is going to go to ICDC. So this is why we say like not everyone will go. It depends on who places. And another thing I wanted to add is I went to Tolman and we did enough fundraising every year to be able to go with no expenses to the student. So we had our school-based enterprise, which it's not an event in collegiate. We can do something like that where we raise money every year throughout the entirety of the year, and it is at no cost to the student.
Alright, oh, okay, perfect. Any more questions?
I just wanted to let you guys know, if you get approved right now, when you meet with me, we'll go over all the finance stuff, all the resources. Thank you.
Alright, I would like to seek a motion to approve the Constitution, first by President Gregorio, second by Deputy Speaker Doyle. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed. Alright.
Thank you.
Oh, seeking a motion. Alright, I would like to seek a motion to bring in Morgan's message. First by Deputy Speaker Doyle, second by Representative Goldsberg. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed. Alright. You guys are all set.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, okay, so I'm gonna do a little retry. I'm just gonna do it like that, just for batches. Hold on. Alright. You guys can go ahead.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Sophie. I'm an ambassador and representative of Morgan's Message. I have with me my co-president Liv and treasurer Bree slash secretary.
My name is Liv. I'm one of the presidents of the potential club, and I'm also an ambassador for Morgan's Message.
My name is Bree. I'm also an ambassador for Morgan's Message, and right now I'm the secretary slash treasury and women's cross team. So just a little bit about Morgan's Message. It is a national nonprofit. We're established in 2020 in honor and memory of Morgan Rogers. Morgan was many things, but she was also a lacrosse player at Duke University. She tragically lost her life to suicide in July of 2019, and a year later, her family and teammates founded Morgan's Message in her honor. Throughout her college years, Morgan was faced with a life-altering knee injury, which was the catalyst for many of her mental health challenges. Unfortunately, stigma played a large factor in Morgan's story, as she felt she was unable to express the depths of her pain openly. The organization was created by close friends and family members to eliminate the stigma, especially within athletes, so that no one else loses their Morgan. We have on the board our mission, if I can tell you a little bit more about it.
So our mission is to create peer-to-peer conversations to break the stigma around mental health in athletics. A lot of times when you experience an injury or you experience mental health issues, you're unable to speak about it because oftentimes you've been told to just push through. It's very hard to push through as a student athlete, and oftentimes you want to talk about it, but you don't know who to talk to. So now it's time to find peers that can also relate to you in some degree. We are also, as much as we are structured for student athletes, we are also improving in the sense that we are able to talk to all students, whether or not you are a current student athlete or a previous student athlete or even leaving the student athlete field soon. With this in mind, if you were once a student athlete or even just a peer of somebody who is a student athlete, being able to have that conversation and be there for a student athlete is something that a lot of times people, like as us, we need somebody else. So
the vision for our club is to eliminate the stigma around mental health, especially within student athlete community, and prioritizing mental health and physical health equally. We aim to expand the dialogue on mental health by normalizing conversations and empowering those who suffer in silence and those who feel alone. That's inside and outside of athletic communities. So the resources that this organization provides us with can apply to anyone on campus. So while it's structured around student athletes, we're able to bring it to the campus community as a whole through the valuable resources that they provide us with. So we create peer-to-peer connections on campus. We hope to hold meetings. Morgan's Message has an education program that has a medical advisory council that provides us with a programming structure that we will follow on campus throughout our meetings. We hope to also connect with other resources on campus to kind of just bridge those gaps that, you know, we have so many resources on campus that students don't know about, and everyone needs to be connected to them. And we're trying to be that bridge from the student athlete community to other students to other resources on campus. We believe that being student athletes gives us a unique perspective on mental health, and while we, don't all have the same lived experiences, we have an experience of being a student athlete and how it's like to work as a team, and those are transferable skills to all students. So we would like to apply some of those to the campus community as a whole.
As a club, we do recognize that, as student athletes and as just college students, we are not clinicians by any means. We are not able to provide therapy, and we are not able to, refer out. However, we're able to tell another student athlete or to tell another person on campus, another student, that here are the resources that I've seen worked for me, or here are the resources that in some way were impactful in my life, or I know somebody who had used the resources. So we do realize that we are not clinicians by any means, and we have set up with the counseling center and with the athletic trainers here on campus for both our student athletes and our non-athletes.
So to connect with the larger community around mental health, we plan to hold campus events. Something that is key about this program is that they hold dedication games, which is basically we'll connect with the sports team and get them to spread our message. We'll get t-shirts for them, stuff like that. The actual organization itself provides us with a lot of materials to give out to the community as a whole. We also might be doing other campus events, hopefully, like just spreading mental health awareness throughout the year. We'd like to have an information table as well, possibly for some games, and we're going to be involved with the Student Athlete Success Center as well. We have connections there. So as we've mentioned, what sets us apart, we are a community for and by student athletes, but anyone who is affected by athletics or how that community can be impactful to you, we focus on the perspective of student athletes, but it can apply to anyone. We use specific programming, but peer-to-peer support is something that everyone could benefit I've been in contact with Rick as well. We hope to do collaboration events with them, hopefully between dedication games and maybe appearances at their events. But we're not trying to compete. It's going to be a team effort between us we really have similar goals in mind, so I believe that we can support each other. It's coming for a more
Oh, yeah, I was
practical.
gonna talk about the budget, like if we are able to get money, we would use that to provide t-shirts, materials, to make our own events, stuff like that. Again, like the organization will give us a lot of stuff, discount codes for ordering merch, things like that, so we just need the budget to something like that, that's it.
For questions.
Yeah, any questions? Treasurer Hoyos, I saw you go up first.
I heard there was like discussion about like whether this club should be under SCG or athletics. Can you just explain how that?
Not well.
Yeah, it did not go very well. That's why they ended up here today, or else they would fall under athletics.
Are they supposed to fall under athletics?
Do they fall under athletics in most schools?
In most schools, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we are not like most schools when it comes
Yeah.
to that.
That's
A
why
lab.
we're really focusing on the whole community coming together under our idea.
We're trying to, still working on getting Don Tencher on board with all of our events. He is very supportive of connecting the student athlete community. Not in this way just yet.
But if we become an official club, it will make us a lot easier for us to be able to do that.
But we have discussed that route. That was my first question as well, so whenever that was on. Alright. Do you have anything else? President DiGregorio?
Do you see like students who are interested in your group? Like, do you know? Okay,
Yeah.
do you provide information?
Quite a few teams we've talked to, like connected with softball.
We've
possibly
connected with
baseball.
softball, I've connected with soccer, baseball, women's basketball, men's basketball,
Yeah,
volleyball.
we sent emails out to coaches already, so like they
Over
know
the summer,
where-
we did that.
Yeah.
And we did, it's called a 9-for-9 day, where you compete, not compete, but you like participate. And we all post
It's
on
a
it.
fun
social media
competition.
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
Yeah, so.
So we're gaining interest.
Yes.
Alright, Representative Logan?
Are you, do you do, hotlines at all or phone, like,
We
for
personally
emergencies?
don't run a hotline. Our recommended hotline is the National Suicide Hotline, which is 988. We're gonna be that bridge to other resources for students, so we're connected with the counseling center. We know we have the helpline, and TELUS is new and up and coming for the student body, but we're not the ones running the hotline. We're the connection to if you need that further support.
Because we, like, as we said, we are not clinicians by any means. We're not trained.
We're just people that can help.
Yeah. That's always good.
Vice President Sullivan?
Hi. I was wondering if you guys would also be interested in doing like, if in part of your like, maybe advocacy work, so like say you're having like a group with a bunch of students and they're like, oh, this one thing is really frustrating. Would you like take it, would it be the e-board or would it be like a group effort, or do you wanna do advocacy? No shame if you don't want to.
No, that's a big part of our program. So if there's like student interest in a certain topic, we go to our medical advisory council and they provide like programming for a specific topic if there's increased interest. We also are connected with other ambassadors in other campuses to see if they have resources on those specific topics. Usually a lot of the same stuff comes up, so we all talk and we all see what works for other campuses, and yeah.
And within the campus community itself, I think this is a really great club to bring students together as well, to help each other, like kind of talk about what's going on and if we need anything come up.
Oftentimes, as the ambassadors, so there's ambassadors and then there's advocates. As ambassadors, we can only see so much. The advocates are within the different teams and around campus, being able to see what's more important. So then our first couple meetings will be specific to what we need to get through. And then after that, it will be more open to what's going on campus.
So I like this club a lot. I think that it's a great idea. But as the treasurer of SCG, I think that athletics should be like what you're under. And I don't know if we can have discussions with Dawn about that. So
This was the same thing that happened with rock climbing.
So what?
Same exact scenario.
So all these sports clubs are gonna start and we're gonna have to fund them. These clubs that have to do specifically with sports and we're gonna have to fund them.
We're representing.
Yeah, and fund it.
They have money.
I feel that at some point there will be a transition.
It's just not gonna happen.
Not without recognition.
Not without like any like support.
So what would have to happen for that to happen? Discussions.
Probably a lot of discussion and a lot of like
Discussion with
There
who
are
between.
discussions right now. I know Ian, Matt, Cindy, and Ted have sat down and talked about it. If you wanna chime in, Ted.
I mean, I don't have a lot I can offer right now in terms of that, but I can say there's some stuff going on in the background that we're trying to take a look at, not certainly this particular organization, but all the organizations and how do they align and where do they fall, certainly for the reasons you bring out financially, but also other areas in terms of, more athletic clubs, where would they best be fit in terms of not just financially, but everything that comes with that. So those are in discussion.
So if we approve this club right now, we fund that. And then in the future at some point, it's decided that they would best fit under the athletics umbrella and other clubs as well. Could that be changed?
That's in the process right now.
That's what we're talking about.
That's,
Okay.
it's in the, like, it's not like we're starting from, like, this has been like a topic of discussion, just like starting out right now. We wanna feel like they're represented still and not just leave them in.
Yeah.
Anything is changing.
And then they can transition over when that comes, when that conversation is finally done.
How long has this conversation been happening?
More formally, recently. So not
Like mid last
we started talking about it so Marina brought it to our attention mid-semester last semester, and then we've been working on talks, so we have meetings coming up shortly to address some of this. Can't tell you what the outcome's gonna be because I don't know.
But this isn't just athletics, this is like with performing arts,
Yeah.
like science, it's like, it's every department is somehow like comes up under us, so it's like how do we spread that, but we can't just spread people.
Okay.
Anyone else have Marcus?
Yeah, I just, like, is it up to a point where we should just start forcing the issue? Like, I don't wanna pick on Morgan's message here, but I don't understand how rock climbing and karate club don't end up under sports, you know what I'm saying? And so if things should be, maybe we should just start saying, no, you can't be part of SCG and forcing the conflict with facilities, cause Rick isn't handling things properly and we've got to do something, right? And until that point, it costs us out of our budgets for all the other clubs lose money. We're gonna get to a point where we're gonna have to tell all clubs we can't afford any more of you, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at DECA that just came in, should theirs fall under business technically? Like in their own
Probably,
department?
right?
We just approve them.
We have academic clubs that are funded by us.
Oh, sorry. Who went up first? Jamie.
I think that's an important point to make, but I do think that this organization is really focused on representation more than financing. I understand you will need financing, but I think it's like a stepping off point, and I don't think we're gonna get anywhere with the what ifs yet. I think we have to figure out what's in front of us right now, and we know that there's future plans to discuss athletics, because I completely agree. I think this should be under the athletics banner, but right now we can't move forward with that, and I think this is what we're dealing with currently, and I think we should focus on that first.
Alexandra.
So I totally agree with that, but I also think that what they've told us repeatedly, first of all, it's been in the works for a while, and I know that financially it is maybe something maybe they don't need funding automatically either.
They're
No,
shaking their heads, they
no,
don't
we
need funding
actually
right
don't
now.
Need funding until we have a dedication game.
Yeah.
And they also, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Oh,
off.
go ahead, no, it won't be for.
And I think that also what they're saying is in order to even become possibly under the sports category and make progress in that way for maybe more clubs, we were saying, oh, like performing arts should be in the performing arts club, that they need support from us in the first place. We're here to support the student body, and that we don't just not support people because they're athletics. We don't just not support people because they're in the performing arts. We support the entire student body, and that's part of this.
Yeah.
Matt, go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just wanna say, like, as far as like, I do hear the points of like, should we be funding them or not, or athletics should be doing their job to fund them, like they absolutely should. Obviously, they have not done so, and that's been an issue last year and even into the year before. But I would say a big thing with student committee government is that we're here to represent the entire student body. So when we have a club that's not being properly represented by the athletics, it's SCG's job to represent them and allow them to be an organization on campus. That's just my opinion. But thank you, I yield the floor.
So I support you guys and I want to help you guys represent, but I am going to vote no tonight. And I want to meet with Don Tencher myself and see what's happening.
We really
Because if you guys don't need funding, there's no reason why they shouldn't be funding you. Or they shouldn't be having you under the athletics umbrella to me. And if we don't say no tonight, I don't see where this stops. So that's why I'm saying.
Who goes first? I just have a question and then I have like an idea. How many people do you have currently interested in this?
Currently, it's all of the athletics, and then there are also all of our friends that are not athletes,
So you have a lot.
including those on what was it?
Ballpark around 50
I would say more
members, and then
100.
Outreach for dedication games is a little bit higher interest, numbers level than participating in the club.
So you guys definitely have the interest in it, and I think we're all it seems from a lot of how people are talking that we all kind of agree that this should go more under the athletics. However, but I also understand, sorry.
There you go.
Treasurer.
Treasurer.
Yes, I understand your points as well. So to kind of propose maybe a solution, if we do approve them tonight, maybe we could, not necessarily every meeting, but kind of have updates from you guys of that conversation of, so, it's not forgotten about that we're trying to make that transition over into the athletic department, and that way we kind of stay up to date as we go from SCG to that. It's not just oh yeah, you guys, you go into the background and we just continue to fund it, you know what I mean?
Okay, just a couple quick questions, right? Is there a membership fee per student that
No,
would be in
there's
it? No. Do the games to fund those require a large amount of money or how?
So there's no requirement for money for us to just be at the games and for a dedication game to happen. The only thing we need is for Dawn to say yes. And the only way for us to do that is to be a foundation.
Oh, I see the problem.
See,
You
are
guys
you-
want to have a sporting event and you can't do it unless you're a club or a intramural under athletics. Yeah, Miguel, I'd really like to come to that meeting to talk to Don. Because you guys know what I'm like. I'd love to see him say no to me. And
I think all
if
of us
for no
should.
other reason than I get to insult him to his face.
Alright.
But seriously, it is a problem that all these things keep coming to us to fund because I don't know what the budget is for political science department when we have a political science club, but athletics has a very large budget, right? And they get yeah, they do, a much bigger budget than ours, right? And it's not our purpose to fund sports teams and stuff. That's tough. But I get you're not a sports team.
So
You guys,
I
I'm gonna vote yes for you guys because you're inexpensive.
I will just
But
say.
like I'm concerned when budgets come around, cause clubs get budgets and then it eats into everybody's money and then, you know what and some clubs need the money and even if you don't use it, it ties it up, you get what I'm saying.
I will just say that it's not just student athletes that attend dedication games or games in general, so it reaches out
Well, you
to-
guys can't even have those games till we
Right.
get Don
Right, and
to wake up and smell the roses, right? So.
It's a continued effort.
Yes.
It's more than just the games, we have programming and educational materials and community outreach, like that's part of the club as well, it's more than just the dedication.
I understand. I'm just saying for you guys to do the events you wanna do, you basically aren't gonna be able to under SCG. It's not fair to you guys. And it's not just a you guys problem. We have a karate club that can't fight each other. So like it's yeah.
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say, cause I know funding is obviously a very topical issue with your club. For those games you're hosting, could you like sell tickets and then fundraise through that? And
So the tickets funding goes to athletics, so it would be a game for
it would be a game
athletics.
for athletics.
The only thing we need the funding for really is if we wanted to provide t-shirts for the teams, like that's something we
So
do.
you don't need funding right away anyway.
No,
Like, we will not need funding until a game were to come up and we were to let you guys know that there is a dedication game. We also have to let Morgan's Message as a whole know that there's a dedication
because
game.
they will send us
Because then
material.
they're sending us material and then we get discount codes. So it's not like there's a whole chunk.
Once we submit the form for a dedication game or event otherwise, we have a little like check-off box that lets them know what we want for that event, so we can get pamphlets from them free of charge and
Stickers, bracelets.
yeah.
And just real quick,
wristbands.
Morgan's doesn't require you guys to pay to run a dedication game? Okay.
No.
I just wanted to say that I think that this club is a great idea. I mean, I'm a student athlete as well, and I think what a lot of people in the community fail to realize is that student athletes are dedicating a lot of their time. It's a very huge commitment, and we focus more on the physical side of it rather than the mental side. You know, a lot of the student athletes here at Rick, they work multiple jobs. You know, they have other time commitments plus a class schedule. They're not getting paid for it. They're doing it for the love of the game, and even just for the love of the game, it does become, you know, kind of a heavy, it becomes heavy on you, you know, mentally. And I think that this does need to be pushed through, and being a student athlete and knowing how Dawn is, I think that we have to kind of push for this club to be approved tonight so that he can see the initiative and the emphasis of why it's important and why it does need to happen, especially for our student athletes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe I'm a little biased because I'm a student athlete as well, but I think it's great. President DiGregorio.
Okay, firstly, I would like to say thank you for all your comments. Secondly, I'd like to say we're not gonna have any more, probably should not have any more comments after this, we're kind of going in circles. But I think to Miguel's point, it is definitely true that this seems to be a slippery slope of if we keep giving these things up, how much are we willing to lose? But in the same right, there are so many clubs like this one that we have already approved and already fund. And I see no reason to go against that precedent, unless you would like to not fund all of the other clubs as well. If you'd like to do that.
Careful what you ask for.
You could totally try, but I think for the purpose of this, it's worth acknowledging that representing the students is not simply just saying yes to this, it is by advocating, by talking to Don, so I would also like to be at this meeting.
If I could just comment, I think this is bigger than just the athletes, and I just wanna comment that there are people working on this and recognize the very issues that you all are raising, and so I don't wanna just pin this on athletics alone. There's lots of different clubs in lots of different areas that aren't necessarily getting or are organized where they should be. So how does that get unfolded, right? And that's why we're trying to work on it. That's our best, I don't have a solution, just that's one of the pieces that we're trying to address.
I'm sorry, Ted, but like with all due respect, it's a bigger problem with athletics. Cause these guys can't do the stuff they wanna do, and a lot of the other clubs can't do the stuff they
I'm
wanna
not
do.
minimizing that, I'm just saying there's more involved, this is certainly an issue. We could dissect this in 100 different ways.
Right, organizationally, it's true, like a lot of clubs probably deserve to be under their departments or whatever, but like it doesn't limit their activities the same way it does.
I don't mean to be a generalist and say every club needs to fall under every particular department, but there's certain clubs it's unclear why they fall where they fall.
Yeah.
So we're looking at all of it in terms of it's not, so if we go in and just talk about one thing, it doesn't address the issues that we're having with performing arts. And so that's what we're trying to look at, everything, and so that, now I don't know if Morgan's message, sorry about that. You know, how does that all unfold in this whole story, right? There's definitely a tie to athletics, absolutely, but there's also a huge piece of this that it represents, I think, students in general with mental health, and so how does that fall? But every club has one of those, right? So I'm not arguing with you, I just wanna make sure you know that we're looking at all of this, it's a problem, and we've got to address it. It's been a long-going problem and a cultural issue, and I think what we're trying to do is attack it in the best way that we know how. And that's not to diminish anything that anybody said on this table, because I think it's important that we address it and figure it out. There's a clear problem, right? We only have limited amount of student funds that that you all can find, excuse me. As I've been told, I am not a voting member.
Alright, we're gonna move on.
Sorry, yep, go ahead, I'm not ready.
Alright. I'd like to seek a motion to approve Morgan Smith's constitution, first by Deputy Speaker Doyle, second by Representative Campbell, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Passed. We're co-presidents. Thank you guys for all of your questions, that was awesome. We have one more club. Theirs is their own constitution, it's their own organization. I'm sorry, cool. Alright, I would like to seek a motion to bring in robotics first by Representative Roca, second by Representative Russell, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you so much.
Oh, they keep saying, I said it right.
Got it. Right.
What is that actually?
My name is James.
Jingo, but it's really
making.
Like,
Don't make me bang
oh,
on you.
they didn't give it.
Let's make sure we're listening.
My name is James Ellis. I'm making a robotics club. We're hoping to make a robotics club. The aim of the club is to get interested people and sort of provide a space just where interested people can work together and create something cool. So I say interested people. I think it's certainly not experienced people only. I think just from the people that I've talked to that are interested, and just from the fact that there's really no similar courses or anything in at RIC, there's no reason to expect anyone to come with much background knowledge on the area. So I think the first few classes will be kind of getting people up to speed, but from there, I think that shouldn't take too long. I think just due to the nature of what we're doing, which is like the systems we're working with, which are it's called Arduino boards, kind of just computer chips, and periphery stuff that you can interact with programmatically. So I think it should get very quickly to a point where everyone is kind of on their own doing their own thing, or I guess not on their own, but able to be on their own doing their own thing, just because robotics is a very vague term. I mean, there's hardware, there's software, and there's a lot of stuff in either group. You could split hairs over robotics for a long time, and so I think it's pointless to and also the point isn't for it to be like a class. It's meant to be a group for a group for people to work together.
that are interested on similar things. So, yeah, I think the point is to get people interested, who might be interested, get them up to speed, and then just provide a space to do so. As for similar clubs, there's really nothing at all. There's Lucas Weber's InfoSec club. Yeah, which I think he'll attest to. Is probably not. I think that's far and away the most similar, and it's also not at all. And so, yeah, and also there's robotics. I mean, just kind of a working definition for anyone who doesn't know really at all. Kind of just software and hardware. And right now, Rhode Island College has a lot of software. You know, there's all the new building or new rooms and all that, and they put a lot of money in the new building. But the hardware is kind of lacking. There's, one class with, I've talked to the teacher of the class, and it's like nominally about hardware. So I think there's a lot to be gained, a lot of interest, just because, computer science, information security, all very big majors. And I've talked to people, a lot of people seem interested. I haven't, yep.
Alright, I would like to open the floor to any questions, Representative Goldberg.
I just have two questions. First of all, I'm sure we talked about this at SOC, but I'm blanking. Do you have an e-board set or like people interested in e-board positions?
Yes.
But you don't have like a set one yet?
No.
Okay. And then with this club, is it more of just like community based, like, I know you said it's not like a class, but it's like learning, or is it competitive? Do you guys do competitions and stuff like that?
Well, that's kind of, if I thought there was enough people to do that, it would be. So maybe, in the future, but I don't know, not right now, for sure.
Deputy Speaker Doyle.
Do you have an advisor yet?
Yes. Douglas Alexander, who's some
math teacher.
Computer science.
Any more questions? Alright, and keep in mind, once they're like done with today, they can advertise more to get those e-board members, so it's okay right now. Oh, hello.
Okay, so I'm a computer science student. It sounds really interesting. Right now, I think, Dr. Henry?
Yep.
Okay, I think he's, for the AI major, there'll be one robotics class, I think. I think it would be cool if this was under the School of Business, because that's where the computer science department, the computer science and emerging technology, something like that department is there. And they could fund this, because I think Dr. Henry wants the school, once we have Whipple demolished and reconstructed into like the computer science department, we will have robotics. He wants to have robotic dogs, flamethrowers, something ridiculous like that. So it'd be cool if it was funded under there. I don't know how feasible that is.
Okay, I have no idea.
Treasurer Hoyos.
So this club is I would say academic club. That falls under SCG policy for funding, SCG funding policy. There's 5 club classifications if anyone's interested. Class clubs, media clubs, competitive clubs, cultural clubs, and academic clubs. So they can ask for more funding from the School of Business, but this isn't, I'm not going to give the same issue as I did last time.
So sorry, but just to reiterate, what would the actual typical meeting look like? And obviously that's hard to answer.
I was thinking just for the first, couple weeks or sessions, depending on when the sessions or how often we're gonna meet, which is TBD. But the first few will be just getting people up to speed. Like I said, it really won't. It's not hard to pick up. Or it's not hard to pick up at a low level, and then it's not hard to, teach yourself from that point. And I think that's the interesting part. So, and then from there it would be there would be ideally some hardware that would be supplied. It wouldn't be too expensive, but we would have the point of the meetings, in theory, if everything goes well, is just to get a collection of people who are interested, and then you can work with anyone who's hopefully knowledgeable about maybe something similar that you want to work on, or get help from anyone.
No, I'm not really in the right place to ask this person because like robotics isn't like something that I know super well. But would this be something where it's like, obviously I know you said it's not really academic based so much, but would it be, and it doesn't, I'm not saying like it has one way or another that I'd like it like that, but do you think that there would be like different stuff like you guys would work on, or different stuff you'd like? I know that's a kind of a vague question, so tell me if that doesn't make sense.
I mean, I've kind of intentionally not added anything like that. I want to see where people are interested and act accordingly. Like I said, it's a big field and there's a lot of different interests. So, I mean, vaguely, I guess, pointing in the direction of maybe in a couple, I don't know, semesters or whatever, getting to a point where people are capable enough to enter competitive sort of things. Maybe we never do that, either because people aren't up for it, or just it's not interesting to people that sign up. But until then, just like a playground, like a sandbox, I guess, of just, you have this equipment, you have all the stuff laid out for you as far as how to learn how to use it, and that's the idea.
I'm all for this, 100%. I totally think it's like a fantastic idea, good time here. You came here just by yourself, man. Everybody normally comes here with like a buddy or two. You crushed it. I'm fully behind this. I don't think you should limit yourself and say it's a sandbox or whatever. Say that people are gonna be interested. You want to go competitive, like you want to do this, you want to do that. I don't know. I think that I saw a lot of ears perk up when you said robotics, and like I don't know, people are interested, and I totally think that if this is approved, a lot of people are gonna be flying towards this. So I wouldn't limit yourself. I totally think that you'd be like, yeah, like we're gonna get a team, we're gonna go this, that, the other thing. You seem like you're in charge here, so just I don't know, like say everything you're thinking about. You know what I mean? Rep it, because I totally think it's a fantastic idea.
Thank you.
Alright, Representative Weber.
Have you talked to Professor Lambert yet about any overlap with like Coding Circle and stuff like that? Because I think that they're definitely like with my club and Coding Circle, I think there could be definitely a lot of overlap with like the people that are interested in that because they like coding, and robotics is half coding, half actually building the robot.
I've talked to Professor Lambert, not about Coding Circle, but I mean, I don't know. What were you thinking? Like,
I'm just thinking if you could possibly like have like a collaboration between the two clubs of like have a joint like meeting sometime where you can just like gain interest in both of them, and then maybe they can help out with the coding aspect if you have people that are more like the engineering side.
Yeah, for sure. I have nothing about that, but definitely open.
First of all, thank you for answering all of our questions. I know it's gonna be like terribly painful for you. I think the robotics club sounds like a great idea. I think that when you do your constitution, provided we all vote for yours, I think most of us will, that you make sure you include that like you'd like to do competitions and stuff, cause it'll save you from running into walls later if you don't, right? And also, I don't think robot dogs with flamethrowers are ridiculous. I think that sounds awesome. I think you should work on that. How long until we have our own Gundam at school is basic. No, I'm kidding. I think it'll be fun. I think good luck with your new club. This is more of a statement. I just want to say like that. Personally, to be transparent, I'm not really sure like what the different, and I hope this doesn't come off as rude, but I'm not really sure like what the different like meetings like would like really pertain to, but I don't think this is something that, whether or not this passes, I think that you should keep working on it, and
And I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean that because there's clearly people who are interested and I think the biggest compelling point is just like the fact that there's really no other club like it, and when you're seeing like this need and you choose to go up in front of everybody, not only do that but also just the fact that you found like that there wasn't a club like this and that it's a unique idea. So no matter what, I think that this could be a good idea.
Alright, I'd like to seek a motion to approve recommended first by Representative Goldberg, second by Representative Logan, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Pass. Thank you. Alright, I have one little thing, okay, just one little thing, we're just doing a quick name change, it's for Advocacy and Beyond. They're changing their name to Accessibility Coalition. They just wanna change their name, alright, so I will seek a motion for that change, first by Representative Tayan, second by Representative Goldberg, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed, alright. Finally, love that.
Okie dokie. Moving forward, we are going to move on to reports. Firstly, Treasurer Hoyos will be introducing the meeting minutes from finance, so if you'd all like to look over those. Okay, is there any discussion? I'd like to seek a motion to approve finance meetings minutes from September 3rd. First by Representative Sigwan and second by Representative Goldberg. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, passed. Moving forward, we're gonna look at the Student Entertainment Committee minutes, that is Tess Sullivan's committee. So if you would like to take a moment to look over those.
Best committee.
Yes.
I would just think it was the best committee, I'm so sorry,
Oh,
about that
makes it
again.
been too many.
Yeah, you without you.
I guess not. Okay, I would like to seek a motion to approve the Student Steering Committee meeting minutes from September 8th. First by President DiGregorio, second by Representative Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okie dokie. Passed. Moving forward, we have some new business, but before we get to that, I would like to ask the room if we would like to take a 10-minute recess. Oh,
Hello.
Nikita.
Are there 2 sets of minutes?
For
Oh, yes, there's
You are
tech
absolutely
meetings.
correct.
Just wanna make sure we get the recess.
No recess yet. If that's what y'all want. So we'd like to take a moment to look over those. They're pretty short. Okay. I would like to seek a motion to approve the Student Entertainment Committee minutes from September 15th. First by Representative Sigwan, second by I'm trying to look in the back, but it's blurry. The last
I know,
names
I
are blurry.
can't see it either.
Oh, I can see it. Representative Roca. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
I know, I looked at Alexander
And
as
then,
well,
so
I was
once
like-
again, will we like to take a 5-minute recess before we get into policy? Yes, no?
I would like to seek that motion.
Okay, would you like, yeah.
First by Vice President Sullivan.
First by Vice President Sullivan, second by Deputy Speaker Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
sorry.
Okay, I guess can we get hands raised for opposed?
What is this for?
Just a 5-minute recess.
Let's power through that.
Yeah, come
You got this.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay, so
Let's go.
we are moving on to new business. I would like to yield the floor to Treasurer Hoyos to go over the student community governance stipend policy revisions.
Alright, so is that the order? Just like, yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so today, this passed in Finance Commission, what is on your screen if you have the agenda pulled up in the stipend policy revision section. And I'm gonna go through with you guys, the stuff in red is the new things that were changed since last time. Some of them I just added words so that it's clearer, and then other places where there's like red numbers, those numbers are being increased from last year. So I'll go from the top, so at 2.4, it just said the speaker and deputy speaker must serve 4 office hours. We added that it should say per week, just like the other positions do. In Article 3, all of the e-board positions are increasing because they haven't increased in, let me give you the rationale for why we're doing this. Last year, there was a lot of discussion about this and it came to Parliament and Finance several times and it never even passed and it was a huge waste of time. So this is an attempt to avoid that for the next 5 years. So as we go through this, just keep that in mind. So all of the positions are being raised to a nice even number like was proposed last year. There is the cabinet members, which is from 3.1.7 to 3.1.11. They're all getting raised to 1,200 per year. 3.1.12, all other members of parliament, that will be raised from 25 to 30 per meeting. And then all non-parliament members of Finance Commission is also being raised from 25 to 30. All non-parliament members of all other committees is being raised to from 20 to 25. Cabinet members who join one or more, this 3.1.16, this whole clause is new. So in the past, cabinet members would join other committees that they weren't obligated to be on and they didn't get compensated for that. So this compensates them for that, and it's just like every other parliament member, they would get paid an additional $30 per committee meeting for whichever one meets most often, and that is the committee that they're not obligated to be on. Like the comptroller has to be on Finance Commission, but he's also on, is he on elections this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's on elections too, this would allow him to get paid for that, just like you all get paid to be on committees. And then in 3.5, this is the 5-year thing I was talking about. It suggests annual increases to the pay schedule through May 2031 as follows. So e-board and cabinet members' pay will increase by $50 per year. Student parliament members' pay will increase by $2 per meeting per year. And then non-student parliament members who are on committees, they also get increased by $2 per meeting per year. And that is all. Do we have any discussion? And if we do, I'm gonna limit it to 5 minutes because we're not voting on this tonight, but you can think about it before the next meeting. So any discussion? You guys think all those numbers are perfect, just like me? Chris?
I think you're really perfect, Miguel.
Thanks, Chris.
I second that.
Okay, so
I have a question. When will
you go first. Nikita?
Me first? Okay.
Yeah.
I just have a clarifying question. Will this policy be in effect immediately or for next year?
So this would be in effect immediately. It wouldn't be retroactive, so any past meetings or past months that we've already been paid for, we're not getting paid whatever this new stipend is, we're getting paid our previous stipend. But going forward, we would get paid the new stipend that gets approved. Parliament members, you guys get paid at the end of the semester, so is that like the whole semester anyway for them? If this gets
Yeah,
approved?
so just to clarify, your attendance dictates how much you get paid for parliament and for committee work. And that is calculated at the end of the semester. I mail out the check usually over winter break and then usually right after parliament ends in the spring. So if this passes, then I would just make a line of, okay, this is like the old pay and this is when everybody started getting pay. And I would just calculate that.
Marcus?
So in the new language of this, I'm not even gonna start to go into the numbers, but like we wrote in here, they must present their budget the first finance meeting
Oh,
in
that's the
February.
class club policy, so we're not on that yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
Tess.
I'm on the card.
Both of us.
So Tess.
Where is this money coming from? Is it coming from the general fund?
We have money in the line, and then if we need more, we will request it from the general fund that every other club requests money from. Marina? Okay.
What is the total amount extra we're gonna end up spending roughly? Cause we can probably guess that by looking at last year.
I actually didn't calculate that. Do you want me to bring that to the next meeting?
Please.
Okay.
Like each year it'll go up an amount, like let's just figure out what that is.
Okay, any other discussions or things you wanna see before the next meeting so that you can make an informed decision at the next meeting? Okay, so we're gonna move on to the class club policy, which is in this paper in front of you. So I also serve as the senior class treasurer. Ever since like the beginning of last school year, we've been looking at this policy and saying like, what the hell? Because it says the senior class, as it stands, the senior class can request up to $20,000 solely to be used for senior week. But every other class, their budget is for the whole school year. And that is very unclear. After talking to Joan about it quite a few times, she had said that the intention, due to the clause at the bottom, which is not in bold, that if further funding is necessary, it can be requested from Finance Commission with proof of need and by detailing what the additional funds will be used for. So Joan had said that it says like further funding, but what it really means is like outside funding outside of senior week. But like that depends on whoever's in Finance Commission voting that year, whether that will pass or not. That's just like very unclear, and this proposed change to the policy would hopefully clear things up. It totally gets rid of this no exceptions will be made, because I don't even know what exceptions you can make if everything is based on what you vote on and you can vote on whatever you want in the world. So in the new proposed changes, the if further funding is necessary, we'll just go right after the junior class. Oh, okay, so first change, I had recommended that the senior class be given $15,000, just like the other classes, to be spent throughout the senior school year. And then if further funding is necessary, it can be requested, just like it says before, just without that no exceptions thing. And then on top of that 15,000, I had also suggested that for senior week, we can request up to 15,000, since it's 20,000 right now, and senior classes in the past 2 years have spent about $24,000. And I saw them do donuts throughout the school year, but I think most of that went towards senior week and the class gift. So for senior week, I had recommended 15,000, and then that gets prorated. If it's not requested by the first meeting in February, it gets prorated to, or the second meeting in February, it's prorated to 10,000 for senior week. If it's not requested by the first meeting in March, it gets prorated to $5,000. And that's because contracts need to be in at least 2 months before whenever the payment is due, so that that can go to the Office of Admin and Finance and get signed. And then after this clause is the senior class gift on the page on the back. And this is the senior class can request up to $5,000 for a gift to Rick. And then if we want to use this part of if we wanted to use part of our operating budget to add on to that amount to give a bigger gift, we can do so. This clause has been added because every year we've been told senior class gets $5,000, senior class gets $5,000, and then there's no place in the policy that actually says that. So that's why that's in here. So when I brought it to finance, we had discussion last week, and then we had more discussion today, and finance voted that we should have $10,000 for senior week and $10,000 for the school year, and then $5,000 for the class gift. So they decreased what I had asked. That's all I have for the class club policy. What do you guys think? Marcus?
Okay. Where we currently, how we have it written, right? It's if you guys show up for the first meeting in February, you can receive a maximum of 10 grand. If you present it by the second finance committee meeting in February, you get 10 grand. We could probably simplify that to one sentence, right? And just be like, so long as you show up by the second meeting, you get the 10,000, right?
I tried doing that, but there wasn't a way that made sense clearly that anybody could understand. If you want to talk to me before the next Parliament meeting about
Just
that.
rewrite it so that it's simpler,
work
cause
that
it
out.
seems weird to state it twice, like, I don't know.
Well, one of them is, so that first 10,000 in the second finance meeting in February, we actually voted to change that to 7,500. That just isn't updated on this. And then the 5,000 will stay the same. The 5,000 in the first meeting in March.
Oh, so it's actually gonna be 10,000 the first week, 7,500 the second, the first finance meeting, 7,500 the second finance meeting, and then 5,000 if you make it to the first one in March?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Any other discussion?
Then that makes more sense, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I personally think that $10,000 for senior week and $10,000 for the school year is not enough. The senior class is allowed to request more outside of that as it states in the policy. But then we'd be like risking planning events that won't get passed. So do you guys think 10,000 is fair or 15,000? Dante?
I think 10,000 is fair because if we raise up that number too much, we're guaranteeing maybe more than we can offer this year. And if they wanna raise it next year, when maybe we're in a better situation, then they can do that. But for the purposes of this year, I think 10K is enough. And if you need additional, that requesting it should not be any trouble.
Okay. Any other discussion on this, Marcus?
Would you feel better if we took out the no exceptions will be made?
That's being taken out. We approved that to be taken out.
Oh, okay. So then there's no hard limitation in place right now as to how much you could actually ask for, right?
That's true. It's just depending on who's in finance next year and the year after that and the year after that, this policy likely won't be enough. Every year it won't be enough, and every year senior class will go over that budget. So
And
if they do
and then
things
what's the consequence? It comes out of next year's money or?
So no matter what, so that's finance commission talk, but no matter what, we're gonna be going into next year's money. I can guarantee you that.
Okay.
Dante?
I think the biggest difference between the policies is what it guarantees to clubs or the class clubs. And I just think that by having it as a lower number, it sets the expectation lower potentially for the senior class, what they're willing to take out, which I prefer. And also, like we spoke about during the meeting, we can't guarantee that every senior class e-board is going to want to make the same decisions you guys made, and guaranteeing that for them when they might not use it seems irresponsible.
So another thing I was thinking of is like prorating all the class clubs budgets throughout the school year, just like, so there are capped clubs and uncapped clubs. All those clubs that just got approved are capped now, which means it starts at $3,500. Every month that they don't request any money, it goes down. And their limit for the whole school year goes down. And I didn't add that into this, but like I've seen classes not do an event for an entire school year, and going forward, I would like to, so the class budgets aren't allocated like they are for the other uncapped clubs so at the end of this school year, we do like the budget process for next school year, where we decide on how much money each club has in their budget, in each line. And there's no like actual guarantee that we have this much money for the classes. So if all of these classes asked for their whole club's budget, we would actually already be going into next year's money. And so I think this year it should be guaranteed for next year, but that's a valid point. So what do you guys think about prorating the class clubs just like capped clubs do?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay,
Can we get a definition of prorating?
so when clubs are inactive for an extended period of time, like a month at a time, if they're capped, they will lose like a percentage of that money. So like capped clubs, there's like 8 school months in the year, and then they get $3,500 max to request in the year. So each month that money goes down by $438. So for class clubs, it would be similar, just whatever 1/8 of their budget is if they don't request money. Because in my whole time here, I haven't seen clubs do things every month. So giving them money that they might just not spend would also just not be good. Marcus?
So I like the idea of doing this, but if we're gonna do it, we need to do it so that it follows the class that doesn't do anything. So in other words, like, alright, let's say this group of juniors doesn't do anything, like they don't spend any money, then it should, the future budget consideration for them should follow them to their senior year, not stay with the juniors who as sophomores might have used their entire budget and are planning to do it again. Then do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
Like, cause
that-
like with the clubs, they last throughout, you know, but with the classes, they change from year to year. It's this, we should follow the group of people, not the grade itself. Do you, right?
So at the beginning, so if junior class did nothing for this whole school year, and we did vote to prorate it if they did nothing, and that dollar amount went to like 0 at the end of the school year that they could request. Then at the beginning of the next school year, the next juniors would be able to request that whole budget as it says in policy. It doesn't stay at 0.
Oh, okay. So you, but I'm thinking like maybe we should have it like follow them into their senior year. You don't think that's a good idea?
They might not be the senior class officers if they don't do anything.
Sure, yeah, that's true, right, they might get unelected, that's fair.
Any other discussion? Okay, so please think about this, the stipend policy and the class club policy, review it a few more times before the next meeting, and we'll have another brief discussion then and vote on it then. I yield the floor to President DeGregorio.
Okay. I'll make this quick. Right now, we have 2 staff representatives that we have right now. But we only have 1 spot, so it's Michael Ward and Mike Kane. So we have options here as to what we wanna do with both of these staff representatives since they both accepted the nomination. So we could either vote on which one we would like to have, or which would be my preference, is that we add a staff spot, a representative spot for the remainder of the school year, because I think they'd both be incredibly helpful. So do we have any discussion on that?
Representative Russell.
I think the second option is the better one, I agree with you.
Thank you, Representative Russell. Representative Jakes.
Completely also agree with the second option.
Yes, Representative.
I agree they have different perspectives that they can both bring to Parliament.
Awesome.
How much is it gonna cost us?
At least $1 billion.
Well, no, we can't afford that.
Okay.
Does it cost us anything extra?
No.
No? Alright, let's do it.
Okay, I'd like to seek a motion to add a staff representative spot for the remainder of the school year. First by Representative Pacheco, second by Representative Roca. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? All right. I yield the floor to Speaker Tommy.
Okay, moving on to updates and remarks, we're gonna go right to updates from our Dean of Students, Mr. Tenzino.
Thank you. Personally appreciate the effort and the conversation tonight. You guys are doing great. I know it's late, but it makes me be a proud advisor to your group. For two quick things for announcements. Number one, the master plan, which I know we've been talking about, again, the whole we're trying to get information specifically from students about what works, what doesn't work. There is a survey that you can go on. It's actually kind of fun to do. You can map out what you like about Rick, what you the buildings that you don't like about Rick, where you walk, where you drive, where you park. It's a really interactive thing. It doesn't take long, but it really gives that master planning committee some good insight into how they can better plan all of the way that we access our campus and use it on the daily basis. If you don't have a copy of what that is, it's electronic, I can forward that out to our exec team and they'll get that out to you to fill that out, that'd be great. The second piece is October 17th and October 18th is homecoming. Tess alluded to that earlier, it's gonna be a really wonderful weekend of events. I hope you all can make it and can attend. Please know as students, you get free tickets to the Zach Brown Tribute Band, which is free for all you students. Student Success is picking up the cost for that. But there's lots of other stuffs happening athletically, not athletically, activity wise, food. So I really encourage you to attend and promote amongst your peers. I'll send her an email tomorrow promoting that as well. And I yield.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tenzino. Moving on, we are gonna go to alumni updates from Representative Jakes.
Thank you, Speaker Ptolemy, and thank you everyone. So just a couple quick announcements. I have gotten in touch with the Brick Alumni Foundation. The Alumni and Brick Foundation have merged now. Just a couple announcements here. Homecoming is October 17th through and 18th, as Dean Zito said. I'm just looking at some. They also have a RIFC versus Rick night. It's on the soccer field. It'll be on Sunday, October 5th at 5 p.m. There'll be a game where you can purchase tickets for. And there'll also be a book talk for Luis Miranda Jr., which will be moderated by Lieutenant Governor Sabrina Santos, who's a Brick alumni. And that will be on Tuesday, October 2nd. Oh no, sorry. Tuesday, October 7th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. in Gage Hall 200. That is it for my announcements. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Matthew Jakes. Moving forward, we are gonna go into appointments, resignations, and vacancies. So I yield the floor to President DiGregorio.
Okay, I'm gonna make this quick, guys, I promise. So I appointed to bylaws, bylaws and adjudication, I appointed Anaya Aguilar and Tamia Smith. For conditions and services, I appointed Madison Mello. For Finance Commission, I appointed Paige Marshall and Chloe Landy. I appointed to Public Relations Isabella Ba. I appointed to Student Entertainment Committee, Elias Frawley Gendron as a student parliament seat, Paige Marshall as a student parliament seat, Marcus Roca as a student parliament seat, Megan Tancreed as the Wicton seat, Eddie Silva Ramos as a non-student parliament seat, and Tamia Smith as a student parliament seat. I appointed to Student Organizations Committee, Ollie Barone, Jonah Diakite, Madison Mello, Marcus Roca, Chris Russell, Nilsa Tajjian, I don't know, sorry. Benjamin Domini.
For college committees, I appointed myself to Committee on Committees. I appointed Tess Sullivan to RIC Council. I appointed Isabella Bott to Athletics and Recreation Advisory Committee. I appointed Gianna Rose to Mission and Goals. I appointed Ben Tomini to Pathways. I appointed Jack Doyle and Lucas Weber to Academic Technology Committee. I appointed Jack Doyle to Online Learning. I appointed Alex Logan to Undergraduate Admissions Policy Committee. Haley Rose was appointed to Traffic and Parking. She was also appointed to Student Life for the undergraduate seat. Lucas Weber was appointed to Student Life in the resident seat. And Joshua Ballesteros was appointed to the Ad hoc Committee on Federal Policies. We have no resignations, and then for vacancies on our committees, we have vacancies once again on almost all of the committees. I would, besides finance, I would strongly recommend that if you still are interested in a committee, that you join bylaws, PR, or elections.
Yeah.
Or conditions and services. We also need people for that now that we have a chair to that committee. I yield the floor to Speaker Tommy.
Okay, moving on, I open the floor to Nikita.
Yes.
Approve
Oh,
all the changes.
can I get a motion to approve all of my appointments? First by Secretary Colonis, second by Deputy Speaker Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Passed.
Okay, moving forward to issues of Parliament members, I open the floor to any issues y'all have.
I have an issue that we're still here.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Huh?
I would like to make a motion to end this meeting, please, for the love of God.
Seconded. Hey, I love it. Seconded by Representative Goldberg. Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Didn't think so. Any abstentions? Alright.
Wait.
Roll call! Can't leave yet. Nikita's gonna do attendance, guys, every time.
You did that during finance.
Last time. Trustee Gregorio. Marina Colonis. Present. Miguel Oyo.
Here.
Seth Sullivan.
Here.
Benjamin Tomini.
Here.
Brianna Acosta. Here. Joshua Ballesteros. Here. Darlene Campbell. Sonia Chatayan. Jack Doyle. Alola Oluwatoyinson. Elias Frawley Gentry. Jamie Goldberg.
Here.
Alexandra Hamlet. Riley Jackson.
Here.
Alex Cobb.
Here.
Paige Marshall.
Here.
Dennis Miller. Here. Marcus Pacheco.
Here.
Kai Reed.
Here.
Marcus Rocha. Haley Rose. Chris Russell.
Here.
Jason Sanchez.
Here.
Jonathan Seaman.
Here.
Samia Smith. Here. Melissa Costian. Here. Lucas Weber.
Present.
Timothy Coastal. Terry Levis. Melissa Marcotte. Ted Tito. And James.
You didn't call my name, Nikita, you didn't call my name.
Alex Logan. Here. Thank you.
You're all set. Besides you, you guys understand. Do a picture.
Who's taking the picture?
I'm so sorry. Last night.
You gotta stay. Do you want? We get some. If you give me your camera, I can get like Nikita to take it or something.
I got it. Lock it. Sorry, love you guys. My camera's my camera.
What?